Не говорим. Все нормально.
Of the Women's World Cup here in Batumi. It's the semi-finals, and it's China versus India. On board one, we have Lei Ting-ji, former contender to the World Championship, against Hampi Koneru, the best Indian player ever. And on board number two, we have Tan-Deshmukh, former Women's World Champion and twice semi-finalist here in the World Cup, against Tan-Deshmukh, former World Junior Champion and Grandmaster Slayer here in the World Cup. It's going to be an exciting afternoon. Let's go to the studio.
And here we are, sorry. I have to gather my thoughts. Welcome back to our studio. We had small internet issues, Valery.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And it seems that I also have some hair issues today. I look like Monica in Barbados, for those of you who are Friends fan. My name is Almira Skripchenko, of course. This is Grandmaster Valery Gaprindashvili.
Hello.
Today is a very special day, Valery. It's the round 6. 4 players out of 107 players reached semifinals. We have Lei Ting-ji, Hampi Koneru, Tan-Deshmukh, and Tan-Deshmukh. And ladies and gentlemen, today things are going to get very violent, because it doesn't matter what happened before, but those final 4 are fighting for the title, and they're fighting for the 3 spots which will qualify them for the candidates. And it reminded me that in our Game of Thrones, by the way, we have 3 Wonder Women and 1 aspiring princess, if I might say. So if before they stunned the chess world with their chess prowess, resilience, and sometimes maybe they were lucky, but I always felt that the Lady Fortune favors the bravest, the most tenacious. But today also maybe we will need something else, Valery. Swords, daggers, magic powers.
Yes.
Spells. What else?
In semifinals, everything is possible.
And every little thing may bring you this victory. And I feel why things are so tense today is that when you make it to the final, you know, it's so difficult to get there. But when you make it to the final, you are playing the final match. So let's see. We have, as Michael presented the round before us, former world champion, one of the most accomplished players, so Tan-Deshmukh, who is playing Tan-Deshmukh. We have Hampi Koneru, who was and still is one of the strongest players in the world, reigning world rapid champion. She was runner-up of the world championship. And we also have Lei Ting-ji. She was the runner-up of the World Championship. She won the candidates tournaments, and she faced Zhu Wenjun in the previous cycle. And Tan-Deshmukh faced Zhu Wenjun in this cycle. So who will make it to the top? Those 4 players are climbing the Mount Everest. And the World Cup, as I feel, is a chess marathon. It's a chess marathon for the players, for the arbiters, organizers, and the commentators. And just before the round, I just exchanged a few words with Hampi Koneru. She's a friend of mine. She has played for the team, for our team, for so many years. And I told her that, yay, you know, it's I made it to the semifinals. She was happy for us, Valery, you know, so
yes,
Valerian steel swords and daggers.
Definitely, I think that she is fighting for more, and she needs and wants more.
Of course, everyone here wants more, and I think that we couldn't have scripted it better. It's yet another very thrilling episode of this Women's World Cup. And by the way, you don't have to wait for a month, you know, to see another episode. It's coming next tomorrow, and we will see the winner of this prestigious chess event in 1 week. So Tan-Deshmukh is on your screen right now. And we were so impressed by her performance yesterday. but also throughout, like through the whole event, she's been playing so well. And I feel that every sports event, every event needs a fairy tale. And I think that this is a fairy tale of our own Tan-Deshmukh, who is 19 years old. She made her first semifinals. She reached the first semifinals in her life on her first attempt.
That's
and
amazing
we
result.
know that she wants more. Nothing will stop her. She is fearless. I went through their games, of course, Valery. You know me. I've done my homework. They've played 3 classical games so far, and for the moment, the results are in favor of Tan-Deshmukh, who is here right on your screen. So maybe let's show their face-to-face if we can show it, because Tan is leading in their classical encounter. For the moment we don't have it, so maybe I can tell you. Tan is leading 2.5-half, so she won their first 2 games, but the last game was drawn last year in one of the first Grand Prix tournaments. So we know that Divya is working on her game. She's constantly improving, so things are completely different in 2025. And let's see, Valery, Divya is taking her time because first we had what we call the Queen's Gambit. Yes, the Queen's Gambit declined. If only Tan-Deshmukh would have played Knight C3, but she decided to play
By the way,
E3.
after E3, we see Divya's face. She's looking up, so it means that she's trying to remember everything of her preparation, and she's taking her time. It's already about 4 or 5 minutes, as I see that she's thinking on the move number 4. So, of course, E3 is not the main line. We all know that the main line here is Bishop G5 or Knight C3.
Yes.
So E3 is kind of sideline, which is avoiding the long theoretical lines. So after E3...
But at the same time, it's a very interesting move order and setup, because when you play A3, maybe you will play B3, Bishop B2 next, yes, after you develop your
setup like that. B2,
also
Bishop
light square
B3.
bishop. And by the way, I have a few recent games, and it's very interesting that Erigasi Arjun is one of the players who is using this line with the white pieces, this move order. So, and very often he plays E3 and then B3, Bishop B2. So Indian chess school, but
Yes.
Divya is facing this line, so she knows it. She is trying to understand where is her opponent trying to trap her. Let's just find out what can happen if Black plays a very natural move, Bishop E7, you know, what happens all the time in the classical version of the Queen's Gambit. You can play, of course, Bishop D3, then castle, and then develop the pieces of the on the queen side. Yes. Then you can also play B3.
Yeah, B3 actually to me makes more sense, because after Bishop D3, Black could capture on C4 and then play C5, which is promising the equal position for White. So mostly, pardon me, mostly when somebody is playing E3, I have a feeling and I'm waiting for B3 next.
Yes, and that's why this move order is very interesting. So I'm trying to show all the possibilities and the alternative here for White. So let's say Bishop B7, because another alternative would be to challenge the center immediately by playing C5. But after Bishop B7, let's see how many options White have. You can, of course, play Knight C3, then castle, and then Black will play Knight BD7. But you can even play Knight BD2. So develop this knight on D2 and not on C3. and even bishop e2, but this is already quite a rare move. So,
So mostly we're
options.
having this knight bd2, b3, right?
Knight
Bishop b2
c3.
and bishop d3, this setup.
And knight c3 also, yes.
Knight c3 is also common?
Yes, it's like one of the main moves, by the way. So Divya is trying to understand.
She played a6, Elmira.
Yes, that's what I wanted to tell you, that this move is very interesting, by the way. It could be used already without knight f6, yes. Black
Yes.
plays a6. It's a very interesting move. But let's have a look. A6 is quite popular, by the way, recently. And against a6, so now Tan has a choice. You can play b3, knight c3, knight bd2. Bishop d3 is becoming more rare against a6 because now your idea of, let's just show, d takes c4. And
So bishop d3.
yes, let's say play bishop d3. So you take on c4 and bishop c4, and you can play b5 with the tempo, of course, which might transpose to positions from the queen's gambit accepted.
Yes.
So probably Tan doesn't want to play those positions. And what move do we have right now?
Knight bd2.
Knight bd2. It's very important is to understand where your opponent is going. So Divya played a6.
Also, we mentioned in this tournament that Divya has an excellent preparation in the opening, and maybe that's why Tan-Deshmukh is trying to don't have the theoretical long lines and just betting on the long game.
And in her interview yesterday, right after the game, Divya was, of course, very emotional, but she praised her coach.
Oh.
Yes, especially for the victory in her first game. We know that it was such a, first of all, interesting theoretical battle in the beginning, but then Divya showed her tactical skills, her sharp tactical eye, and she delivered the blow on g7. If you didn't have time, please have a look at this game. Maybe of a crucial importance, by the way, for this line. By the way, Valery, so another comment that I have about this opening. Now that the knight is on d2 and not on c3. So now the knight on c3 is putting more pressure, of course, on d5. So I think that it's only logical to play c5 for black here. Because when the knight is on d2 and not on c3, black can strike immediately in the center and play c5 here. And this will be another critical moment, and Divya does it. I can be Divya's coach. I know my players. And
So still b3, right?
yes. So here, once again, what is the position your opponent wants to play? What is the position that Tan-Deshmukh wants to play? Does she want to define the structure immediately and take on d5? So cd5, of course, and then you can take ed5, and then you will play the position with the isolated pawns. Knight d5 is more rare. Does Tan want to play here d takes c5? Yes, and this allows you to play after bishop c5, a3, and maybe you play a queen's gambit accepted of your own with reversed colors. You see, this is very interesting, what is coming next. And another move, but probably which I would choose with caution, is b3. So developing the bishop immediately, because it weakens a little bit the dark square, so I'm always afraid if black will be able to take on d4 here. Let's try. C takes d4. Yes, define the structure immediately. E takes d4, because if b3 is there, then knight c6, attacking the pawn on d4, bishop b2. And I feel that actually black has a very nice game here. Let me check. By the way, Magnus Carlsen in this position even developed the bishop on g7. He played g6. So simply
Oh,
bringing
that's
the bishop
interesting.
to g7 because this bishop is on b2. But I'm wondering, let's say bishop d3, bishop g7 in this position. And like I have a very curious move here, but probably it doesn't work. Now that the bishop went to g7, can white play bishop a3, Valery? You know, we lost the tempo, but probably it's too much.
So bishop f8?
Yes, but bishop f8, then you are losing your right to castle, maybe. But or you will play king g7.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, but still, maybe it's an interesting idea.
But
Yes.
black also have knight e7, right?
Yes. Yes, like Yasser Serevan. But then your knight on e7, you know, is not such a darling, as I may say. Yes, you can castle, rook e1, and you want to bring your knight to f5, I suppose, at some point, yes?
Yeah, after rook e8.
But as you can see, we have a lot of interesting options in this game, and Tan is still thinking. But I think that c5 is the most principled way to play against the knight on d2.
Yeah.
It's
Completely
a
agree.
thematical, yes, it's a thematical move anyway when you are playing this type of position. So you should play it against the knight on c2. So Tan Zhongyi is still weighing her options here after c5. Let's have a look at our second game.
Here we
Only
have
2 games left, by the way.
Yes.
4 players. It's the moment where the staff outnumbers the players.
Yeah.
Yes, there are a lot of us, and for the first time, you know, yes, I wandered a little bit around the playing hall. I wanted to see the venue, to feel the electricity in the air, but things were very calm.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it was like very calm. So, but you know that this is the calm before the storm.
That's
yes,
true.
Valery,
That's true.
this things I told you. The Art of War, this book, will be necessary today. By the way, those players had such a different path in this event. By the way, now that we have Tan Zhongyi and Hampi Koneru on your screen, let's show how those players got here. Because Chinese players, they didn't play a single tiebreak. So maybe let's start with Hampi Koneru. How well did she do in this event, and how did she get to the semifinals? For the moment, we are not ready to show the tournament road. Okay.
Okay, we have very interesting opening.
Yes,
by the
we have
way,
a very interesting opening. Yes, first maybe let's concentrate on the opening. But I've looked at the results, of course, myself, and we've been here already for a while. So Lei Tenji avoided tiebreaks. She secured victories in her matches in classical time control, and this is very impressive, yes. But so did Tan Zhongyi.
Yeah.
Yes, both Chinese players, they haven't played a single rapid game in this event. Okay, so what is the opening that we have here? Let me have a look.
You're gonna like it.
What were the moves?
e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, knight f6, d3, and knight e7.
No.
Have you ever seen that?
No, so it's good that I do not have my other glasses, so because if I would have seen it immediately on the board, you know, so like I would be completely shocked, and it would be live. So I'm still shocked.
So the pawn is not hanging.
Let me check if we have a few games. And by the way, it doesn't come as a surprise, yes, to us that all of these games after knight e7 have been played recently. So 2025, most of the games, and a few of them were played in 2024. What an interesting idea. So first of all, let's try and take the,
Yeah.
yes, the pawn
The
on
most natural
e5.
thing.
But then, of course, I remember this tactical motive. You have this, by the way, sometimes in the, it's the, when you have d5 and then c6, and then when you play knight e4, knight e4, d takes c4, and the pawn is on c6, the knight goes back, and queen a5.
Queen a5.
You
So
win
the
in
same
the,
is
yes,
here, it
but the
seems,
same is
right?
here, yes.
C6.
You have to play c6.
But what's going on? Bishop c. Ah, the same e5. Wait a sec. So what's going on here?
Yes, queen a5 check.
When? Oh,
No,
right
yes,
away. Oh my
yes.
God.
Valerie, wake up.
I
Wake
thought you
up.
were taking on
No,
e4.
no,
I
it's
thought
the
like
same
that.
idea.
And then
No,
queen
no, no,
a5.
no, no.
Oh my God.
By the way, yes, if you're fans of Dr. Seuss, yes, you shouldn't do this when your mom is not home.
So what's going
Don't
on
play
here? Is
knight
it losing?
e5. I think that it loses a piece immediately.
It
so,
seems like that.
yes,
yeah.
after queen a5, and this is it. Knight c3, queen e5. Maybe you can still play d4, you know, e5 and grab.
Or maybe even capture on f7 on c6 here.
After knight e5, yes, you can also take knight f7 when you realize that
So
this is the
what's
moment
best
where
on
you
knight
lose
f7
a
for black?
piece.
Take immediately or yeah, take immediately, right? Just
Yes,
take it.
knight f7. But then king f7, bishop a4, d5.
Just piece up.
Yes,
Yeah,
this
there
is
is
a
no
piece
compensation.
up. White can still play, of course. Maybe you can
Yeah,
find a
but-
few practical chances here, but
Yeah, that's another story.
yes, you can take on e5, of course, here after knight e7.
So what's the most common
By the way, what
answer
move
on
do we
knight
have
e7?
on the board? Because I was surprised also by White's reply. Can we show the position?
Bishop c4 was next move.
Bishop
on knight
c4,
e7 and c6.
c6.
And
anyway.
a4.
a4, so. Okay, let us understand this move order.
So a4 against b5, right?
Yes, but also after d5, maybe you're securing your bishop. Yes, so I have one game after a4, but where black didn't play d5, but played knight g6. And that's actually a typical maneuver which
Yeah.
you see in the Italian or Lopez. If you're allowed to bring the knight to g6, white very often does the same. Yes, knight d2, knight f1, knight g3. So if black manages to transfer the knight to g6, which actually is a better piece than the knight on c6, because you can play c6, d5 in one move. It's a very interesting plan. By the way, Valeria, it was a classical game, so maybe let's have a look at this classical
Let's take a
game
look.
played by Georgiadis and Darda, two very talented players. So knight g6, and white tried to exploit the knight's position on g6 immediately by playing h4.
A4, H4, last two
Yes.
moves, yeah?
So h4, I don't think that you should allow white to play h5 unless, you know, but let's have a look how the game developed. h4, h5, bishop g5, so securing the g5 square. But then Daniel Darda immediately played d5. Okay, nothing of this will happen in our game because Hampi Koneru just played d6. But it was a very interesting option. Yes, so let's see. E takes d5, just once again, because you can also have these lines from the bishop opening. If you play e4, e5, bishop c4, yes, knight f6, d3, and c6. So it's very interesting what is their approach. And bishop b5, of course. So now the bishop on b5 is protected, bishop d7, and white castled. With a very, very complex middle game. So let's have a look if the move d6 was played and how many times, how popular it is. But since I had only one game and I cannot check the correspondence database, this is it. But maybe if not a4, if we transpose, let's say, if I play bishop b3, d6, but then you don't need the
You
move
don't
a4.
need a4, yeah.
It's very interesting to understand this move order. So c6, a4. Okay, but what about c6, castle? Once again, another move. So
And maybe d6 here.
d6 here, and maybe a4 can be played. No, white plays c3. Actually, a4 is only needed, I feel, in this variation where you take on d5 and then you play bishop b5.
to have supported
yes,
bishop
to
on
support
b5.
the bishop on b5. So Hampi has a different approach. Then she says, okay, you just played a4. Then this move is probably completely useless now. So she decided not to play knight g6, but first d6, and maybe knight g6 or even g6
Yeah,
later.
this is what I wanted to say. To ask you actually, how do you think, will she develop the bishop from g7?
It's not an easy choice because we all know that from the King's Indian structures, especially when the knight is on e7 and the bishop is on g7, g6, this knight lacks space. You know, you constantly need to redeploy it to find a better square.
Also, it seems much more natural to put a knight on g6 and bishop on e7, yeah.
So I think that Hampi will still play knight g6, but she wants to play a more quiet game. By the way, today we have a very simple poll. We have 4 players who are competing for the coveted title. So the poll is, who are you rooting for? Yes, Lei Tinji, Hampi Koneru, Tan-Deshmukh, or
I
Tan-Deshmukh.
already have my favorites, by
Who is
the
your
way.
favorite?
Just guess from yesterday's game.
Tan-Deshmukh. So our commentators, at least one, is rooting for Tan-Deshmukh.
I made my choice in the end of the tournament.
Okay, so let me root then for my friend Hampi Koneru. And well, it means that we are rooting for the Indian team. We know that 2 Chinese players qualified for the semifinals and 2 Indian players qualified for the semifinals. We might as well have all Chinese or all Indian final, or one player from each country will make it.
It will be actually more interesting.
Time will tell, of course, but the fight will continue because the players will have another match also for the 3rd place and the 3rd qualifying spot for the candidates tournament. Lei Tinji is thinking. By the way, Valery, do you know what is their personal score in this, like against each other?
Let's check it.
I checked it. I have to find my
Lei
notes.
Tinji, right?
Lei Tinji against Hampi Koneru.
I think they played a lot of games.
They played quite a few games, but as a surprise, it might come to you that Hampi Koneru is leading in their classical encounters, 5-4. They've made 2 draws. Hampi won a few games in the beginning of Lei's professional career. They exchanged blows during the candidates tournament in 2024. But the last game, classical game, was won by Lei Tinji in a closed event in Norway chess, where they have a special format where if the game is not decided in the classical game, then it's decided in the Armageddon. And this classical game was won with the white pieces. And by the way, the previous game they played in Norway chess also, where Lei had white pieces, she also won. So I feel that Hampi has a few worries, yes, with the black pieces against such a strong opponent, so she needs to get out of the opening safe.
Yeah, I agree.
So what do we suggest here? Knight g6, yes? Or
It is.
Like, I
Okay,
mean,
first
let's
it's
say
white to move.
yes, if Lei will castle.
Okay,
and
I would love to say knight g6 and bishop e7, which seems to me supernatural, but on the same time, I have to say that d6 was not looking natural for me before she did it. I was somehow expecting another position for that d pawn.
By the way, we have our interesting statistics prepared for you. How well those players they do in knockout format events. So let's have a look. Both players are on your screen right now. So Hampi Koneru. Her first tournament in a knockout format she played in 2004. It was the World Championship. And as you can see, she was eliminated in the semifinals by Ekaterina Kovalevskaya. But in 2010, she made it and she lost in the final match against Hu Yifan. And as you can see, Hu Yifan eliminated her also in the semifinals in 2008. So let's have a look at the results in the World Cup. Yes, can we bring it once again? I'm so sorry. Yes, just a second. Because this is her third World Cup, and as you can see, she was eliminated already in 2021 is 116, so by Jolanta Zawadzka. And she was eliminated then in 2023 by Bela Khutinashvili. So this is her first World Cup semifinals. And let's have a look at Lei Ting-ji statistics. Her first World Championship actually was played in 2015, and she only played those tournaments twice.
And one of them she played against Hampi Koneru.
Yes, and one of them she played against Hampi Koneru, and yes, I've went through these games, and Hampi Koneru was the player who eliminated Lei Ting-ji back then. But at the time, of course, Lei
10 years
Ting-ji
ago.
was not the player she is now. So it's only her third time appearance in a tournament with a knockout format. So what does it say? It will be interesting to ask her if she doesn't like this format. Of course, she had the possibility to
She
play
did
in
not
the
play
candidates.
for last 7 years.
Yes.
Right? So she missed three World Cups.
No, 2 World Cups, and before that was the World Championship. Yes,
So
yes,
in
of course.
2019 and then 21, 23.
2018, it was the Khanty-Mansiysk, I think.
It was
No,
every year?
2018, no, it was not. There was a tournament that I didn't play. Let's say 2018, I think it was in Khanty-Mansiysk.
Women World Championship.
Yes, yes. Let me check. Yes, because it's where during June she defended her title. Yes.
And was it in 2019 also?
No. Then it was in 2021 because, as you remember, the pandemic
because of the
started.
COVID,
Yes,
yeah?
of course, in 2020.
So
And-
21 and 23 and 18 she missed. Okay.
But
It's
it will be
actually, the
interesting, of
reason-
course, to have her opinion about this format. And she's such a strong player. As we saw, she didn't play a single tiebreak. She is mentally very strong. She played confidently in the beginning, then struggled in her black game against Tumida Omonova. Then her game against Nana with the black pieces, her first game could go either way, but she was much worse after the opening. But then she clinched the victory even by a perfect score. She won 2-0 against Nana Dzagnidze, and she is still thinking. By the way, Valeria, let's see. So castle, maybe.
And knight g6.
Knight g6. And of course, the first move that comes to my mind here is that even if the bishop is on e7, it looks like a very strange Philidor or the Italian with bishop b7, where you manage to bring the knight to g6 immediately. So let's say knight c3, I want to play bishop b7, and then I feel that white can play either e5, so grab,
E5?
no, a5,
A5.
yes, it's one interesting move, Or you can lose a tempo, and after bishop b7, you can play d4.
D4, yeah.
You see this quite often because if you're allowed to play g4, the knight left the square c6, and even though it's on g6 now, there is no pressure now on this pawn on d4. By the way, there is one position where black plays knight e7, and then white plays d4, and then knight goes back to c6. It's in Ruy-Lopez. They provoke.
That's correct.
Yes, they provoke d4 and they
And then
go
going
back,
back.
yes, to c6. But here, it's not possible.
Yeah, it's
Because the knight is
absolutely
already on
impossible.
g6. So let's say after d4, what can we suggest?
Castle.
Of course. So should we play the move h3? Are we afraid of bishop g4 here? What do you think? But I feel that if we lose this tempo, let's play h3. Maybe black can immediately play d5, and it will be a mess. By the way, we have a move on the board. Let's have a look. Of course, given that so much is at stake, the games are developing very
C3.
slowly.
She developed the pawn on
c3. Okay, so she, late in G, she decided to postpone the castle and to play c3. But then I feel that knight g6 is even more natural here. Okay, let's try once
Yeah,
again.
what
c3,
else?
knight
Knight
g6,
g6.
yes. Castle for white.
Maybe she's not going to castle.
But what can you do here? a5 first? There are not too many moves here.
On knight d2 will be knight f4.
Well, I don't have to play knight f4 immediately. I can play bishop b7 first. And yes, and we forgot to mention what will happen if knight will play to g5. Yes, a very natural move, because black will always reply by d5. He takes d5, he takes d5, bishop b5. The bishop is protected, but now, especially that white have played c3, I feel that black is much better here after
Yes.
bishop d7. What can you do here?
They are even ahead in development, right? And the space, black's advantages.
This is a very
Clear one.
risky open,
Line,
try, yes. So knight g5 will not happen here after knight g6. So let's castle once again. Let's have a few
So bishop e7.
scientific, yes, hypothesis. Castle, bishop b7, then maybe rook e1, yes, to support the e4 pawn and prepare d4, castle. And here in this position, especially if we're using the analogies with the gioco piano, so the Italian game, yes, because the bishop is on c4. So this position looks more like it is.
Yeah. Black
Very
is okay
interesting,
here,
yes, to
yeah.
say that black is actually maybe threatening to play d5 here. So maybe, yes, if we use this analogy, we should retreat our bishop here. So if you anticipate d5, then you should play bishop b3, and if black plays d5, then can we actually take and take on e5? Let's just check this line, yes? Knight e5. And can you
definitely
play...
bishop d6,
Yes,
no?
can you play like in like the
Martial
Marshall?
style.
Yes, Martial style. Bishop
Marshall the
d6.
Great.
Where do you go? E2, E1. I know from Marshall that sometimes it's important to put the rook on E2, but very often you put it on E1.
Okay,
so
let's put it on e1.
rook E1, and then you see that black can play immediately knight G4. So maybe rook E2 was better because you need.
So bishop takes h2 does not work.
I'm not sure, but
Let's take a look.
Yes,
Yeah, what's going
because
on
now
there?
that the rook is on E1, you have the E2 square.
So king takes, knight
Yes.
g4 check. King g1 and queen h4.
So maybe queen f3, and then if queen h2, I have the king f1 and king e2. Yes, and you don't have the rook on e8. So unless you have something here, I feel that
So
it's
queen
a
eight.
bit premature, yes? Yes, because we can always play on rook e8, bishop b3. And
Yeah, bishop
yes, just in
e3 solving
case.
the problem.
But it's very interesting actually to analyze this line, because if after bishop d6, you probably need to play rook e2. Let's say once again, rook e1, but if knight g4, and then I'm attacking on h2, but also on f2. Let's say you play h3. Can I take on f2 here? Knight f2, king f2, and then check, queen h4. And you see the weakness of the dark squares might as well decide this game. So Hampik goes knight g6, but we are trying to anticipate things here. So
what's going on here after queen h4?
I don't know.
Let's say
You are the expert, Valery.
no,
I'm giving you the
position,
lines.
the position is complicated.
Maybe
and
you
this
can...
was your idea. That's why
Okay,
I'm
so
asking
I have
you.
to defend it.
King
Maybe
f1.
sacrifice another bishop on h3,
On h3.
and maybe I will have a perpetual. But
that's your target.
I'm connecting
no, you are
the
tricky.
rooks.
Come on. You are saying perpetual. In the end, I will realize that I have to give up.
No, but the thing is that if you see a perpetual, that means
then it's already
that,
okay.
Yes,
yeah?
it's okay that you can go for this line with the black pieces, and maybe you will find more along the road. Yes. So I feel that it's important. Even for our viewers, for our audience, to give this advice, because it doesn't matter if you figure it out, yes, after king f1, but if bishop h3, you see that there is a perpetual, then you're fine.
Yeah,
but,
here is at least perpetual.
But if you take on h3, then how am I not mating you? Let's calculate. G takes h3, queen takes h3, and where do you go? Because if you go to g1, we have this mechanism that we see quite often, bishop h2, then bishop g3. Ah, no, I can still go king e3, king f2, yes, bishop g3, king e3.
King e3?
Yes.
Take on
bishop e1, then maybe king d4. Let's show. Yes, I want to see the mate on the board.
Okay, bishop f2
bishop
check.
f2
Is
check.
that it, a checkmate immediately? Queen e6.
Queen, king e5. Okay, rook e8, I suppose, yes. King f4, and now you're mating me probably with the queen on g3, yes? Queen g3, king f5, and yes, and of course with mate to follow, but this is such a beautiful line. So let's say after bishop h3, queen h3, king g1, so bishop h2 is winning. But what if not king g1, but king f2 immediately? Ah, we are entering the same line with bishop g3, yes? Okay, so this is not possible. This is actually very dangerous. Then, after bishop d6, maybe we can play rook e2.
Yeah, rook e2 maybe makes more sense.
Because I think that this pawn on f2 has to be protected. And after rook e2,
just a sec.
What can we play? Is it that clear? Maybe Lei Ting-ji can take this pawn on e5.
So rook e2.
Because if you play knight g4 here, okay, we will play h2 and with no
What you
success.
play on knight g4? h3, right?
Yes.
And f2 is not hanging, so that's a point of rook e2 move.
But can you play maybe bishop g4?
Forcing white to play f3.
Yes, and then simply go back, let's say bishop f5. Because f3 is a weakening move, of course, but at the same time it takes away the square on g4. But it's a very, very interesting position. You know, I feel that at some point black might have sufficient compensation for the pawn, but it's a long-term compensation. Because let's say after bishop f5, the pawn on d3, yes, let's bring the position here. Bishop g4, f3, bishop f5. Yes, I'm attacking the pawn on d3, and I am not allowing you to play knight d2, knight f1. You want to bring this
That's a fact.
knight to the defense.
And pawn on d3 is hanging.
And you don't want to play d4 here, suppose. Let's say if you play d4 here. Maybe I can
Not
start.
bishop g5?
Bishop g5 as well, yes. But I thought, what if d4? Then maybe you can play bishop... Queen c7.
It's kind of everything protected on the king's side.
Yes, but at the same time, that's the way to play. You sacrifice
Okay,
the
maybe
pawn
just
for
queen
the
c7.
initiative. Yes.
Queen c7.
And
Just attacking the pawn.
you're forcing me to play g3. Yes, here
And
you.
then rook e8.
This is a very nice position for black. And I don't think that Lei is the player who would enter
Yeah.
such positions.
Who lost that with white?
Okay, then after knight g6, let's have a look at castle. Once again, bishop b7. So we will finish the analysis at least of the opening stage of this game. Then rook e1. Then maybe black can play d5 here.
So bishop g4 does not make any sense because of h3.
Maybe then it will be more precise to start with bishop b3, I think.
Instead of rook e1.
Rook e1, yes. Because if d5 works, then
And she did queen
she did
b3.
queen b3. Okay, this is...
Attacking
Yes, on
the
f7.
very famous f7 pawn.
Okay, yes, because we had a look at knight g5, but what I don't understand that black can play d5,
D5
here
right
anyway.
away.
Yes, so what is happening here? Okay, let's check it. d5, he takes d5.
So
c
he takes d5 is forced.
Yes.
So he takes bishop b5 is
Yes,
forced.
it's the only move. Then bishop d7.
As for black, bishop d7.
And what about this position?
What's going on
Because
here?
if you take on d7, you are forcing me to take with the queen. Yes.
Ah, d4 here.
You think that she wants to play d3 and
Yes.
d4 here and knight e5?
Yes, like this. Yes.
So let's just show maybe bishop d7, queen d7. Yes, and everything is protected just before
what?
before d4.
Yes.
Just to show that bishop d7, queen d7. I think that black is fine here.
Yeah. Everything is protected. They
So
are
your
ahead in
idea is
development.
to play d4 here.
And this space
To completely
advantage.
change the structure in the center. Ah, the devilish idea is maybe that if I take on d4, let's try, he takes
Knight
d4.
takes.
I want to take with the knight. I thought with the pawn, because you also have this from some English opening. If you play bishop d6, maybe her idea is to play queen e3 check. No, it's too much. No, no.
Even in case of bishop e7 after the check.
But you wanted to play knight d4.
Yeah, to have the statical isolated pawn on the board.
But for once, I want to disagree here because it looks like the exchanged French, where black already has the bishop on g7, knights on f6 and g6. Maybe I can even play here bishop c5. So yes, knight. If you want to take knight d4, bishop c5, and then castle, and then knight e4.
Oh, here I'll do castle, right?
You will castle, I will castle. Ah, you want to play bishop g5 here.
No, bishop takes f6 is hanging.
It's a very, very interesting way to change the course of the game, to change the structure, which Hampi doesn't want to play. You know, this is what is going on through their minds. So if d5 is forced, then Hampi has
Is it forced, by the way?
I'm not sure, but what I wanted to say that Hampi, who prepared for many, many hours, who had a lot of openings, suggestions, so she decided to play this rare line because she's going for the structure. So the structure was d6, e5, knight g6, bishop b7, castle, and pawn on c6. So this move, queen b3, is forcing her to readjust to a new
in
reality.
case of d5.
Yes, exactly.
So what
if
about
d5,
queen c7?
Okay, let's have
If
a
we
look.
just protect that pawn on f7, are you going to do knight g5?
And why not? I can try, but queen c7 with the idea of having the structure, but
bishop e7 is...
yes, you can no longer
possible.
play bishop e7. Okay, what a vicious move. I told you, this is our first dagger. And now magic tricks, spells, will be used during those games, and queen b3 is one of them. So Hampi Koneru, I think that she will take her time. She will weigh her opponents. So let's go back to the game between Tan-Deshmukh and Tan-Deshmukh. Okay, we have a few moves in this game, and as you can see, Tan-Deshmukh decided to define the structure immediately. She took on d5. Yes, let's have the moves.
Here we are. She takes d5 and e takes d5. It's
And then
always
she
interesting
played
for
b3.
me, Almira, why the players are not mostly taking with the knight. What is actually wrong with taking with the knight?
Well, the thing is, when you take on d5 with the pawn, it's of course that you are not allowing white to play e4. Yes, at some moments. So I'm not sure that you should play e4 immediately, or first you have to develop your bishop, maybe let's say bishop somewhere, where e2, d3, okay, d3 maybe knight before, e2. Yes? Let's say bishop b2, knight c6.
No, take on d4.
Ah, you want to take on d4. Then knight d4 and then bishop f3. I think so. Are you going to play here bishop d7 and knight c6 like in Taref? You see, I think it comes, it ultimately comes to their knowledge. How many positions they know, how they master, they know the ideas, how versatile is their style. So this knowledge is very useful, yes, and
Definitely.
but
Definitely, mostly in this kind of positions. When nothing concrete is happening, but on the same time, if you are doing some tiny mistake or error, you will feel it for sure.
By the way, let me check, because I think I have a few games with knight d5. Maybe it will be also interesting for our audience. These are, okay, now I have actually a classical game, no, rapid, Andreikin Sugirov, but very strong players. And after knight d5, Andreikin played knight b3, attacking immediately the pawn on d4. C takes d4, knight b d4. So maybe white's idea is to bring this knight to the center, but then knight f6, bishop d2. So protecting from bishop b4, bishop d6, bishop d3, and castle for black. And with this position, but where I feel that white will be in time to play e4, and with the symmetrical, yes, pawn structure. What do you think about this position? You can also, by the way, after knight d5, take on c5.
Yeah, there are different options, but it's just interesting which one is the best and if it is problematic for black at all in any of the options. I actually played that position multiple times with white, but it was very difficult to prove that white has any kind of advantage there. You know why? What was the reason of my question? The reason was again this isolated pawn position. To avoid it.
But maybe Divya was prepared for this structure.
Definitely.
By the way, here, of course, Tan-Deshmukh started with
Oh,
b3.
we have an amazing move here.
Yes, I
From
wanted
Divya.
I wanted to come here, but let's just quickly go through the opening stage, because after c takes d5, the thing is, once again, you can take e d5 because the knight is on b2. Yes, so the isolated pawn, which, like when you have the knight on c3, you know, putting a lot of pressure on the knight on d5 is a tricky position to play. I agree. But with the knight on d2, let's see what happened in the game. b3 was played, so it was Tan's plan to develop the bishop on b2. Knight c6, once again, putting more pressure on the pawn on d4. Bishop b2.
Seems everything natural for white.
Yes, so bishop g4 was played, and now Divya simply wants to take on
So
d4.
bishop e2, another natural move.
Yes, and here the first amazing move, bishop f3. Bishop f3, given the light square bishop, but she had an amazing idea, an amazing follow-up. So it's not she's just given the bishop who can attack on d5. Knight f3 was played. By the way, I think that we should mention that if bishop f3, then black simply takes on d4, and white doesn't have this opportunity to capture twice with a minor piece on d4.
And there will be no more
Yes, and
isolated pawn.
After, what do you do? E4?
Maybe bishop.
Bishop
I don't know,
d4?
because keeping the bishop on b2, I don't see any big sense,
But
actually.
then
But then
after
the dark
bishop
squares
before
will
knight
be
d4,
quick,
yes,
yeah.
yes, I feel that it's even
So
worse.
e takes d4
yes.
then.
E takes d4, but then you can simply develop your bishop, let's say bishop d6, and black says fine, castle, castle.
Absolutely fine, because white has a two very bad piece. This is a bishop on b2 and knight on d2, which has to stay on c3, or at least on e2, but not d2.
But then knight f3, just by the way, let me check something. Is Divya still in her preparation? Let me just check. Knight c6, bishop
I don't
b2
think
in
she's
my
in her
database.
preparation, you know.
I want to see if there were games in this
That she
line.
played?
Not she played, but she actually, this was already played. C takes d4, yes. Knight takes d4.
Okay.
And here it comes. In all of these games, black played bishop b4, forcing white to play king f1. So let's just show this position, that this was played a few times already, but probably after bishop b4, you know, king f1, white is better, yes, because white will manage to castle artificially. Let's say black
And that's
castles.
not a problem at all, right?
But let's say black castles here, of course.
G3? Not.
Yes, because you don't have this light square bishop, you can always play g3 and then bring the king on g2. So let's say rook e8 and king g2. So this is Divya's magic. Bishop a3 is on the board. So she wants to play this position with the bishop, dark square bishop straighted.
Oh.
So let's see.
On
First,
bishop c3, there is knight e4, or not?
no, but first, of course, let's show bishop a3.
Yeah.
Bishop a3, queen a5, and then here you should consider queen d2 or still king f1. Maybe both options are viable. Very interesting alternatives, of course. Queen d2, queen a3, or king f1. But from like intuitively, I think that
King f1.
no, that white wants to take on c6 here. So let's say I will play, you know, with knight c6 and something. So how to do it? Let's say king f1.
Yeah.
Queen a3. So knight c6. And as I've learned, you know, Grandmaster Yasser Seiravan, he paid his mortgage by winning those structures. Yes. So knight c6, b takes c6. You have to be very careful. if white will be able to establish the control of the dark squares here, of course, white will be much better. But g3, let's continue.
Yeah, first of all, white has to solve the problem of their king.
Castle. Let's say king g2. Yes, we continue. And then, do you want to play c5 here? Do you
Yes,
want
I
to
want.
play a5, a4? By the way,
I want both.
both. How do you start here with c5, with a5? It's very important to understand which moves comes first.
Let's start with a5.
And do you remember Divia's game against Teodora Inic with the black pieces? She played very well. It was one of the Carlsbad structures in the with the black pieces, and she.
I don't remember.
She had this rook on b4, like it was, and the knight against the bishop, and she completely deprived Teodora Inic of counterplay. And with the black pieces, like she had d5, c6, she controlled everything, and then she played a5 and c5.
Yeah. Okay, so
Men.
here, what do we have here? Here we have almost equal position.
Almost equal, but how to play?
Problem
How
free.
to be
A5.
precise here? You want to.
I somehow.
But by the way, if we start with c5, why not with c5? We cannot show. Maybe let's update our position. Queen a5, king f1. Yes, queen a3, g3.
Just a sec.
There must be a better way, yes, to play this position.
Has to be. We did so many moves that I have a lot of lines here. Here we are.
Yes, g3, castle, queen g2. Castle, sorry, castle. Knight, no, not king, no, not g3. First I wanted to take on c6.
Yeah, first take
Yes,
on
knight
c6.
c6, bishop c6,
Take
yes,
g3, castle,
castle, king g2. And here, why not c5?
Why not c5? Queen c1.
Queen c1. So you want to trade queens,
Queen c Jones.
like Fischer did, by the way, when he was playing against those hanging pawns. He wanted to trade queens, and then the queen went to a3.
Yeah. Okay.
So queen c1. I shouldn't trade queens. By the way,
Queen b4 you have to play, right?
or maybe queen a5. Why not queen
I
a5?
need that a pawn to push. That's why.
That's
a5,
why.
a4.
Okay. Then queen b4, and then you want to play a5 on the next move.
Yes.
Okay, this is a very like
Natural.
interesting try. Natural,
Natural.
yes, queen b4 and a5. So maybe this is what we are going to see.
Could be.
But Tan Deshmukh is still thinking maybe she wants to play bishop a3, queen a5 check. Let's just show it once again, and then queen d2. Yes,
This.
Queen
this,
d2.
Queen d2. Take on
does it
a3.
make a difference? Yes. Does she wants to take on c6 immediately? So let's say we take. It allows us to play also rook c1 in one move, but at the
But
same
still castle, right?
but at the
First.
same time, no, knight e4 is also coming with the tempo. So I'm a bit puzzled here. Maybe I should play bishop f3.
Immediately without castle.
Without castle. First, I don't want to avoid knight e4 because then you will play knight e4 and maybe a5, queen b4.
Okay, so castle.
Castle. And now I want to castle. How about this position? a5, you want to play here? Maybe a5, a4 immediately. Or a5, queen b4.
Also makes sense.
But I'm not
yes.
sure that
Okay, so what
after
about
queen b4, a4, I can play rook d1, rook d4, but then you can play c5. Okay. But
Okay, obviously the position is very close to equal, right? But still, black is equalizing. We all understand that because of the a little bit worse pawn structure on the queen side, mostly the c6 pawn.
so maybe white has a slight edge. Yes. So before we go in a short break, maybe just let's show the position between Lei Tingi and Hampi Koneru, because I saw that Hampi played d5, and on e takes d5, she took knight d5. So she didn't want to take with the pawn on d5, and she took with the knight on d5, which is also, I think, it's a very precise way to play this.
Yeah, it's an option.
Yes, so castle was played, bishop b7,
Rook e1 and just
e1,
castle.
and a castle. So once again, what happens if we take on e5 before we go on the
So
break?
take back, take,
I
and
want to
bishop
go on the
d6.
break, but the chess player in me, you can take the girl out of a chess world, but you
The
cannot
chess player
take
is
chess
calling you,
out of the girl.
hold,
Yes,
hold.
that's the problem. So,
So
knight
taking
d5,
bishop d6,
yes.
the same idea,
Yes,
right?
and bishop d6, yes. So,
With the typical Marshall composition.
but yes, now, okay, now it looks like Marshall, yes, with the knight on d5.
Marshallian.
So here rook e1, and
Okay.
let's ask our audience if
If they
this
like
will
this
happen,
position.
if they like this position, and if this position will happen in our game. So let's get back to the studio. We will take a short break. We will be back, of course, in a few minutes. Please support your players, vote for them. The games are still in progress. They're developing slowly, but we know that so much is at stake. See you in a bit.
See you soon.
I wish you all the best. Game one, start order.
Chessboard. 64 black and white squares. Or is it more than that? It's a battlefield. A stage where strategy meets instinct. This is where women play their own way. Playing with fire. Playing with heart. Playing with emotions. Playing as strong as any man can play, and beyond. Every move you make breaks the old rules. Every game you play redraws the map. No ceilings, no labels, no limits. This is not just a game. This is your arena.
I am here live with Divya, who has just beat Harika to make it to the semifinals. Divya, obviously a little emotional. Tell me how you're feeling.
Shaking. Yeah, very shaky. I think I'm happy with the way I played.
Did you expect both games to go so well?
I don't think the last game went well, but no, not really.
Okay, well, I think the feelings question is really answered by your face and the way that you are right now. Congratulations, I know it's quite emotional. Tell me, in the first game, there was a beautiful combination that you had. At which point did you realize that this was winning for you, and how do you stay composed in these moments?
I think when I found it, I realized that it was winning. I initially found it, and then I thought that it doesn't work after king g7. But then I saw queen f4, rook e1, and then I get the rook, so it was working. And then, okay, I would have to say the preparation had a lot of role in that game. And of course, I'd like to thank my coach for that.
In preparation in the second game, we saw you once again with the headphones, the laptop, focusing, ready for the next match. Did that go your way as well in the second game?
Well, I think so. But yeah, she played quite well, and I'm just glad it's over.
You've had a few tough opponents from Inyat to Jenner, now Harika. Who would you say was the toughest so far that you faced?
Definitely Zoo.
Do you think winning that in tiebreaks also gave you confidence to come in today and win?
Yeah, definitely. When I initially went into the tournaments, I knew that I didn't want to play any tiebreaks, but well, that is not my fate. But okay, so far so good.
Yeah, I mean, both games, tiebreaks you won in the rapid, which is really nice. Obviously, it's going your way. With Harika, so you say you weren't really planning to go into the tiebreaks, but the first game, classical game, you guys drew quite quickly. Were you hoping that it would end in classical, or were you prepared to go to tiebreaks with her?
Before the first game, I wanted it to end in classical, but since I was black the next game, I was like, okay, a draw is fine. We can go into tiebreaks.
Okay, well, Divya, congratulations once again. Enjoy your food. And this is my last interview as well. I'll be leaving Georgia. But I wish you luck for the rest and keep playing how you're playing. And to the viewers back home, hope you can see a lot more of Divya.
Washington, D.C., August 4th to 5th, 2025. The Smart Moves Summit, a global education conference where chess meets learning. Held alongside the FIDE World Schools Team Championship. Global dialogue on chess, cognition, and education. Federations, researchers, EdTech. One stage, one mission. Topics that move the world. Meet leading influencers. Timur Turlov, Dana Reisnies, Jerry Nash, Leoncho Garcia, and more. Inspire. Unite, transform, join the international community shaping education. Play smarter, learn bolder. Let's make future together. Don't miss this unique opportunity. Register now and be part of the change.
Dear chess friends, welcome back to our studio in Batumi. The games are in progress. This is the semi-final stage of the FIDE Women's World Cup. Four players qualified and they will stay in Batumi, Valery. So Hampi Koneru.
For next 1 week,
yes.
That's for sure.
Yes, they will keep us company, by the way. Thank you very much. So Hampi Koneru is facing Lei Tinji and Tan-Deshmukh is playing against Tan-Deshmukh. We had very interesting position in the game between Tan-Deshmukh and Tan-Deshmukh. So let's maybe start with this game.
Yes, on Queen A5, we were on time to consider Queen D2 and King F1, but Tan-Deshmukh played B4.
By the way, Valeria, I actually had a question because it's probably like a very unique situation where Sanskrit converges with the Old Russian. Do you know what Divya means in Sanskrit? Like her name, it's like it could be like when transcribed as something divine or heavenly, it's like maybe divine light. And when I was thinking about Divya during our commentary, the old Russian word divo always came to my mind. So you always have this expression like divo, divne. It actually means that.
What about diva?
Diva is something else, but divo in Old Russian means something exceptionally beautiful, surprising, maybe even something coming from another world. So as you
Actually,
can
her
see,
moves talk about that.
yes, especially yesterday's Bishop G7 was such a great move that at some point we suspected that Divya, is making moves which are whispered to her from maybe a divine creature.
Another galaxy.
Another galaxy.
Okay.
Okay, maybe let's first of all have a look at their face-to-face. I've mentioned it in the beginning of our broadcast, but for the moment, Tan-Deshmukh, she actually leads in their classical encounters. 2 wins for Tan-Deshmukh, 1 draw, but a very recent one at the end of the last year. I think it was the first Grand Prix in Shymkent. And for the moment, Divya is struggling to find her first win. So B4 is on the board. Let's just put
Yes.
the
B4, queen takes A3, castle, and we definitely have to consider what's going on if black captures the pawn on B4 after white did castle.
black castled already. So what about
Yes,
but
knight
then
B4, yeah, because queen B4 is
Your
minus
rook-
plus clear.
probably
that there
rook
will be
B1,
B1.
yes.
But still, after rook B1, queen
then I
E7,
still have
knight
queen
F5,
E7.
knight F5. That's very interesting. What's going on here? Knight F5, queen D7. Or
no,
is
but
it?
if knight, then I can take on G7
Rook G8?
and knight H5.
Knight
Yes.
H5 and okay. Yes, okay, that's clear. Minus plus clear, yes.
Maybe let's. Did we show it on the board just in case? Yes.
Yeah, okay. I will put it on the board. Queen B4, rook B1, queen E7, knight F5. So
queen D7,
white
knight
is
G7
getting
check.
back
No, check, king
the
F8
pawn,
and knight
then
H5.
knight H5. The material is equal, and the safety of the black's king is not so good.
No, that queen B4 is a
knight-
very dubious
knight
move.
takes
Knight
B4.
B4.
This
And
is interesting.
it's a very interesting question, by the way. As we saw, Tan is never shy of sacrificing 1 pawn or 2 for initiative. In her game against Vaishali, she played a very theoretical line, but which requires a sacrifice of 2 pawns for initiative and a lot of dynamic play. So here, what can we suggest? Let's say rook b1 first. Yes, if we play rook b1 anyway, so I can see a clear target on b7. Maybe we can play rook b1
Because
here.
on castle it will be just queen d2 as I understood. Or wait a sec, just a castle.
But rook b3.
Rook b3 and then queen b1, right? So queen. Okay, queen a4 is facing queen b1, and on a5 there will be bishop b5, or what?
Maybe.
No, bishop b5, queen takes a2.
No, but why can't I play a3?
Yeah, a3 you have everywhere.
And then bishop b5, and I will win your queen.
Yes, so we're doing like this.
Yes, let's show it.
Queen
Because
a3,
I can win your
castle.
queen.
Knight takes b4, rook b1.
No, rook b3.
Yeah, rook b3.
You castle first. Castle first. Rook b3, queen a4, and queen b1. So, and if you play a5, I will play a3, and then bishop b5. Yes, winning your queen, so you can't do this.
Okay, so knight takes b4, rook b1. Let's try something better. Okay, let's consider what's going on here. Rook b3 and queen a5. Queen e1? No, queen e1.
Yes.
Oh my god, queen e1. And on knight c6, knight takes c6, queen takes
And the queen
e1,
is
and knight
protected,
e7.
yes. It's very important to play queen e1.
And not
yes.
queen d2. Then the king goes and just capture and piece up.
As you can see, this line is also very dangerous for black. And it's understandable that Divya decided to castle, but why not? So b4 is still there for grabs, and now white can take on c6, but the difference is that the pawn is on b4, and it's very vulnerable.
Maybe here queen c1.
And why can't I take on b4? Queen b4?
Okay, my idea was that if you take on c1, rook takes
This is a nice position, yes. This is a nice position, yes, for white. But queen b4
queen
first.
c1, queen b4, and rook
b1 you want
or
to
take on c6. Just a second.
Because rook b1, don't forget, I have knight d4. Maybe you forgot.
Yes, you have, yeah, that's right. So first
but
take
let's
on,
show it.
yes,
It's
so
a nice
rook b1,
intermediate move, of course.
Knight takes
d4, and
d4.
that you're taking on c6 here, queen c6. Yes, but then I play rook c8. Am I winning the queen? You cannot take on c6. This is unbelievable.
Bought rook b1 somehow to survive.
Okay, so which square can... Okay, so which square can I take away? Can I take away? So, now you have the square b6.
Yeah, but just
now you have the square b6.
yeah, but just queen d2 and you are gaining the bishop then.
Yes, queen d2 is winning. Yes.
The bishop.
No, this is not possible. So
Nice.
Divya is playing very well because she castled.
Queen e3 has to go. What else? Rook fb8 maybe? No, rook fb8 is a little bit... Yeah, and rook fb8. I mean cb8. Let's consider what's going on a5. On a5, b takes a5 of course makes no sense because the rook just captures and the position is just problem-free. So that's why on a5 let's try b5. C takes b5 and bishop takes b5. Could be here any troubles? I don't think there will be any troubles. Even if I play just king f8. It's just time to go. King f8. Seems to me absolutely equal. Absolutely equal. King e7, if I put my king on d6 or e6, that's it. So maybe a5 is the best option here for black. So another move I was saying was rook cb8, and if white captures on c6, black captures on b4. Also seems absolutely okay. So it proves one more time that black's position is too healthy. b3 pawn is hanging. If rook b1, then it will be a5. Just very close to draw. But again, Divya to decide. Play a5 or play rook b8. On the same time, I think that even king f8 could be possible. Yeah, these double pawns giving to black enough compensation everywhere, full compensation. Yeah, of course, a6 pawn, black is losing, but they are taking the b4 pawn everywhere. Do you think, Almira, that it ends up so simply and Tan-Deshmukh will not create anything? Okay, anything is a little bit loud because Divya played very well, but still something is missing, you know, that Tan-Deshmukh is not a player to do the draw like this.
Well, if we will summarize the opening stage of this game, first of all, Divya reacted in a very precise way against the move order, which Tang used in the opening e3, then knight d2 and b3. Then we saw the depth of her preparation, where she improved on a few games that I had in the database, and she didn't play bishop b4, which is leading to a slightly worse position for black, but bishop a3, a stunning move. And this is another question that I wanted to ask
It's actually
Divya.
innovation, right?
Yes,
Bishop
maybe
A3.
it was played like in a correspondence game. I couldn't check my database because we are still having a few internet issues, and I can see that we have a small lag, you know, in our broadcast, but unfortunately, it's not something that we can control for the moment, of course, and we are trying to do our best to stay in the games in the real time. And then after bishop a3, not only Tang, she failed to find a way, you know, to complicate things. Yes, so but
This
maybe
is a moment.
there was no way.
This is what we are talking about. Bishop
A3 is stunning move, and while only bishop b4 was played, let's just show once again bishop b4, which is a very, very natural move in this position. So you're forcing white to play king f1, but it appears to be a mistake. Let's say maybe a small strategic mistake, but here white is actually better.
Yes.
Like, so bishop a3, when we saw it in the board, we were surprised, of course, but professional chess players understand immediately that this idea was probably prepared at home. And after bishop a3,
okay,
queen a5.
Maybe not exactly this position, but at least the idea that Divya knows very well, that bishop a3 and queen a5. Maybe she has analysis in different parts, in different moments. Maybe not exactly this one, but definitely it's not. Okay, at least it looks like that it's not a move at the board.
And of course, it shows also how hard Divya is working on her chess, because she is only 19. She reached the semifinal stage. She is facing one of the titans, yes, and
exactly.
I do measure my words, but Tan-Deshmukh, the former world champion, she played another match this year against Jun, who is a world-class grandmaster. She is prepared. She is armed to her teeth. You know, that's what I'm saying. She knows every opening place, e4, d4, c4, and that's how well you need to be prepared against those players that with the black pieces, Divya doesn't have any problem right now. And as you can see, Lei Ting-ji is watching this game behind, and Lei and Tan, they're friends. They travel to tournaments together. They're supporting each other. Yes, and so
and that's
they might face each other as well.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to say.
The next stage.
And who knows?
Of this event, but we don't know which stage this is going to be, the match for the first place or the match for the third place.
But still, I think that obvious will be that at least one of them will get to the final. Yeah, like, it's 50-50 actually. So that's why I think like that, nothing private.
So should Divya play a5 here? What is she considering?
Divya is thinking, yes.
It's very interesting. So black has two weaknesses here. So a6 and b5, a6 and c6. So a5 is a very natural move if you want to get rid of one of these weaknesses, but then maybe b5.
Take on b5 and king f8. This is what I was
Bishop
suggesting.
b5. Yes, once again, let's just check this line. So if the bishop stays here, protecting the pawn on b3, bishop b5, a4. Okay.
But where to improve and what to do?
Yes, let's try f3, king e7.
King
Yes.
e7.
King f2. King d6, probably, yes. Maybe king e2. Bring in my king to d3.
Now I will start jumping with my knight as it's not already connected to the defense of the d5 pawn.
But where
So
to?
where to go? To attack the b3 pawn. Knight d7. To go to c5.
So you... Okay. Knight d7, so if I take on d7, king d7,
Agree on draw.
yes.
I will grab that b3 pawn somewhere for sure. Or you
Okay,
could not
let's
improve.
say rook c8, rook c8.
Okay.
Or maybe, no, maybe I can start with rook d1 first. Wait, not.
Rook have
No,
d1
I
instead of taking
no,
on
yes,
c8.
because I have
I'll
rook
capture on
c1, rook c1. Can you play rook c8 here? Maybe it's not necessary. But
It's not necessary at all
let's
because I
calculate.
don't need that line.
No, but let's calculate, because out of curiosity, we know that pawn endgames is something which is very complex. You need to calculate a very
Seems like draw,
straight
yeah.
line. So king c8,
Let's do it.
king d3,
King d7.
yes, king d4, king d6. Let's say I will start with h4 or g4. Okay, I will start with h4. No, h4, h5, g4.
g4, g5.
And f4, you will play f6. The most important thing is, of course, not to allow the white king to penetrate, yes. And if I will take on g5, let's do g5.
So g4, g5,
is
f4,
f4, f6. And if I take on g5, you will take on g5. I will play, let's say, h3. You will play h6. And here we are. So if I play e4, you'll take, and you'll play king e6, keeping the position.
Why king e6? Why not king c5, even to be a little bit active?
More aggressive, yes. But if you play king c5, then it's a race. Are you sure?
I'm not.
But king e6, let's say, keeping the opposition seems so...
Yes, but I'm... Okay, when I saw that king c5, my pawn is more advanced than yours. I am not sure, but with simple calculation, I think it's possible
you're
too.
forcing me to play,
yeah,
yes,
then I will
king
play king
d3.
d5.
Yes.
Why stay behind when I can stay ahead?
Yes,
So
I agree with
play
you.
king d3, I'll play king d5.
So you're making a draw on your terms.
Yeah, this is losing, right? King f5, king b4,
Yes,
king g6,
king
take,
b3, and then...
too advanced.
Yes, it's a wonderful rally, but you're getting there first.
Okay. h6 was in the game. h6, rook c2, and rook fb8. Here we are.
Well, it's another way is to get
White
rid
has to capture on
of
c6.
the weakness. So
It's only move,
you're
right?
taking on c6, rook c6, then
Rook
rook
takes
b4.
and bishop
So
d1
we'll
maybe.
have massive trades here. Bishop d1, yes, is one way to protect the
If
pawn.
we want to continue the game.
Because if you take on a6, of course, there's nothing left to say.
On bishop d1, how to react on bishop d1? That's a good question, by the way. Bishop on d1 is stopping some tradings for sure.
maybe, yes, maybe Tan should enter this line. So at least to torture
Yeah, and here
her
we are.
young opponent for a little while. Yes, so after rook b4, rook, so let's see, but I think that bishop d1 is going to be played here.
Here is a very interesting
She's
idea.
not going away without a fight here, so.
It is very interesting idea here to got the c file and play rook bb8.
Rook bb8
The next I
back.
want to play rook c8. That's important.
So
detail.
now that the bishop is on
Yeah.
d1, it's a wonderful idea.
Yeah,
Yes.
rook c8 and okay, keeping that file, that already means that I am without any questions there, yeah.
But it's an easy move to miss when you played rook b8 and you took on b4. So now that you, after bishop d1, Divya has to realize that it's important to control the c file.
Yes, very important, because if the black later will put the rook on c5 and the pawn on a5 and king on d6, that's it.
Maybe black will be even better. Then
Yeah, why not?
who knows?
Why
Knight
not?
e4 is going to jump, knight d2, taking the pawn on b3.
By the way, interesting moment for Tan Zhongyi to decide that she wants to create something or just do the draw. If she wants just the draw, of course she will take on a6. And actually she has to be careful, you know, she has to be careful.
But then you will have to face Divya with the black pieces, and we all know how she plays with the white pieces. I remember her match against Ju Jinner. She completely outplayed her world-class opponent in a very peculiar way that she played the Sicilian with white pieces. Then yesterday against Harika with the white pieces in their first tie-break matches, and she is posing a lot of problems.
Yeah, yeah.
And this also should be taken in consideration when Tan is thinking where to go. It's not easy to explain the thought process and what is the decision-making mechanism, but she thinks, okay, but tomorrow I'm black, like it's only the move number 20.
Yes.
So should I make a draw here? Should I play on? But if I play on, it's very easy to overstep, yes, this limit where the draw is no longer there.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so maybe let's leave this
Playing
game for a
makes sense
second.
when you are pressing, but if you are playing because you want to defend your position and somehow to survive, of course that's not for Tan Zhongyi as an option.
Valery, look at the position in the game between Lei Tinji and Hampi Koneru. Actually, the queen is on c2. So like it's not symmetrical yet, but because the knight is on g6, and as you can see, Lei did play g3, because it seemed natural to me that this bishop on f1 should be redeployed. Hampi decided not to play.
On bishop f1, bishop d6. She did,
Yes, bishop
right?
d6. Actually, she forced g3.
Yes,
but maybe
actually I don't like bishop d6.
maybe h3 was also possible. But okay, let's see g3. Hampi also decided not to play a5.
But move the knight.
But knight d7 with the idea of playing knight c5. What I don't understand, what if here Lei Tinji plays knight c4? Yes, attacking the bishop
Instead
on
of?
the queen c2. Maybe then bishop c5, your move.
So all moves here is yours or mine?
Well, but we haven't guessed anything today. It's like a little bit maybe in the game between Tan Zhongyi and Divya.
Here, starting with the knight e7 in the opening,
yes,
and then d6.
So I'm not sure we are useful today. We are trying to understand the nuances of this very new line to us, but of course we are using the analogies from different openings, and Here, by the way, yes, it's a very strange Philidor with the knight on g6 because sometimes black plays d5. Yes, but the knight is on g6
Knight
and
on
not on
G6.
f6.
Knight on g6 was very strange from the very beginning. The opening.
So Hampi didn't play, but if bishop c5, so do I want... but now that there is not the knight on d5, I can play bishop e3.
Bishop e3, yeah.
Yes, I understand. And if knight f6, with the idea of playing knight g4, maybe I have this knight e6, no?
Again, you said.
Yes, I thought, but then simply bishop b6,
takes.
bishop c. I thought, but then simply bishop b6,
takes.
bishop c5, and then maybe rook e8, and this is fine. Because the pair of bishops here is not that dangerous. For the moment, I cannot play bishop d6 because I have queen d6. Yes, so rook e8. Bishop d6, you have simply queen d6, yes, losing a piece. So maybe here black survives. But
Okay, anyway, Lei played queen c2. This is a move that she did. I think we have to play knight f6, right? That knight is jumping much, but...
we have a move, actually. Hampi Koneru just played knight
e5.
e5.
Oh. Oh. What about f4?
Yes, this is the first move that we are looking for.
That knight made so many moves.
But maybe she is inducing, yes, she wants white to play f4. We can feel that white king is going to be vulnerable, yes, because of this weakness of the dark squares. The knight is still on d2, the bishop on c1. So let's try f4, maybe knight g4, and then you will always bring it back to f6 if necessary, yes?
But knight e4? I'm a little bit afraid for the black's position already. With knight d5, that bishop d6, knight d7 and e5, what Hampi did, I actually don't like. Okay, I'll be straight.
Yes, I understand. So here you have those monsters on e4 and d4.
Now it's kind of clear the side who is pressing. Now it's super clear. Who is creating the problems? It was not like that a few moves ago.
Yes, I agree with you, but I'm trying to understand Hampi's idea, because she still has to deal with two minor pieces. First is the knight on g6, which is not doing anything, and second is the bishop on c8, which is not developed, but okay, let's say white still has the bishop on c1, so how about this knight on g6 here? Because I want to play h3, yes, after knight e4. And where is your knight going there, by the way, if I play h3? Can we make a move?
Black is in trouble.
Just to illustrate the point. Let's say we play a5,
okay.
Just to check after h3. Where would you go here? Knight f6? But maybe Hampi is pinning her hopes on this move. Let's say knight f6, g takes f6, and then she wants to play h5, h4. I know that it looks dangerous for black.
Also, in case I need, I can face that h5 with h4 on my own.
But then I will play bishop g4.
Wait. Wait a sec.
Let's say you play bishop e3 here, you finish the development, yes?
Yeah,
Can I play h5 here? I want to play h4.
That idea could be neutralized anytime with knight f5.
Also knight f5, yes, it's possible. So
And more. It
maybe
will be
let's show it on the board, of course.
even
because,
worse to have the h4
yes,
advanced.
now that your bishop is already on e3, knight f5, and you're forcing me to... No, if I'm taking, then queen h5, queen f5 and queen h5, and this is it. No, no, no. But then after f4, once again, maybe Hampi wants to go back knight d7. Maybe she's simply provoking this move f4, but then also knight e4. And as we can see, white also wants to play f5, f6. What an unusual way of dealing with this opening.
Yeah, but actually
I
Lei is
have my
doing very
doubts.
well.
Yes, but I have my doubts as well.
Doughty? Yeah, okay. Let's take a quick look at Tan-Deshmukh, and then maybe...
She decided to play rook b1, yes, and then we can take a short break because players have a lot of time, of course, and Divya just played a5.
Yes, definitely.
Bishop d3, protecting the rook on b1, but...
And checkmating on h7.
Yes.
Just in case she needs that.
Yes, so that's why maybe a4
a4
here.
definitely, yeah.
B takes a4, and then a rook b takes a4. Of course, not...
Yeah, we can't do this just to
yes.
show to our
Not blundering
audience. After
the beginner's
bishop
mate.
take on a4, we can't do this line. Rook takes a4 because there is a checkmate on c8, and the bishop is controlling the h7 square.
Okay, but we still haven't played h3, by the way, because white also has this beautiful idea of playing rook b7, yes, bringing the rook on the... by the way, can I do this? Let's try. Rook
Yes, but
b7, check, and I want to play bishop b1.
Bishop?
b1.
Ah.
And I want to play rook c, c7.
Just a second, I'll put it back. So bishop b1. What about knight e4?
I don't know what about knight e4. I haven't seen this yet. So you want to play knight d2. So rook c, c7 probably
Wait, knight d2?
fails, yes, to knight d2. Okay, I'm still not losing probably.
Rook c1.
Rook c1, yes. But
You
can
are
I...
not the one which is winning for sure, yeah?
Yes, but okay, is there any way that I can do it after knight e4?
Knight e4, knight d2 is hanging. It's a
Yes.
fact.
Yes, knight d2, and then this is it.
Okay, so step by step, this position goes step by step to draw.
Okay, so it allows us to take a short break. I can feel that Tan is going to make a move right now, so let's maybe wait for a second. But
it could be a long second.
Another hesitation? No. Okay. Let's get back to the studio and yes, so the games are still in progress, of course. So let me have a look. Do we have the results of our poll? It's been updated a little bit. So we have 47% for Tan-Deshmukh, 33% for Hampi Koneru of our audience, 16% for Lei Ting-ji, and only 4% of Tan-Deshmukh. But of course, we have to take into account that Chinese fans, they probably do not have access, to our voting system, so they would probably support their players massively. But for the moment, Tan-Deshmukh is our favorite and your favorite.
My favorite.
Okay, so let's take a short break and we will be back.
Chessboard. 64 black and white squares. Or is it more than that? It's a battlefield. A stage where strategy meets instinct. This is where women play their own way. Playing with fire. Playing with heart. Playing with emotions. Playing as strong as any man can play. And beyond. Every move you make breaks the old rules. Every game you play redraws the map. No ceilings, no labels, no limits. This is not just a game. This is your arena.
Washington, D.C., August 4th to 5th, 2025. The Smart Moves Summit, a global education conference where chess meets learning. Held alongside the FIDE World Schools Team Championship. Global dialogue on chess, cognition, and education. Federations, researchers, EdTech. One stage, one mission. Topics that move the world. Meet leading influencers. Timur Turlov, Dana Reisnies, Jerry Nash, Leoncho Garcia, and more. Inspire, unite, transform. Join the international community shaping education. Play smarter, learn bolder. Let's make future together. Don't miss this unique opportunity. Register now and be part of the change.
Dear chess friends, welcome back. It's been a very joyful afternoon. So the FIDE Women's World Cup semifinals are underway. As we saw in the game between Tan-Deshmukh and Tan-Deshmukh, the position is rather balanced, and Dive once again has held her own. She is playing very well during this event, and she made a serious claim on the title.
Yes,
Valerie,
that's
but
true.
on the other hand, in the game between Lei Ting-ji and Hampi Koneru, things are about to heat up because Lei Ting-ji just played f4, and we can see that Hampi replied with knight g4.
Knight e4, definitely. Okay, the difference between this position and what we were analyzing is that the black already has a6 on the board, and here
She wants to play c5 maybe, yes?
at least it's an extra option. c5, but playing without this bishop,
Because before,
but
of
maybe
course,
c takes d5, that d4, that makes sense.
Yes, but before c5 was not possible because we had knight d5. Knight
b5,
b5, yes. So Hampi had to make a lot of moves in
Yeah,
order
we're
to
seeing
prepare
f4
this
here.
idea, yes?
We are saying it here, and after knight g4, knight e4, c5 is not possible because of knight b5. But here now let's evaluate one more time that c5 move if it is possible to make. Okay, taking on d6, first of all, I think is giving good chances to black.
But maybe Hampi wants to play bishop b7 and knight f6. She doesn't want to give this bishop. Okay, let's try c5, of course, but knight d6, cd4, so using the pin.
Yeah,
But maybe she doesn't want to give this dark square bishop. What should you do here? You can take on c8, but then rook a c8, yes?
Yeah, that's-
okay, maybe
that's good
let's
for
show
black.
it.
so knight takes c8, rook takes c8, and there
Attacking on
is a
c3.
very unpleasant pin on c file.
Maybe knight e4 here, then back. Oh, yeah, but I also could have played knight f5. No, then you take and take on c3. Yes, okay, knight e4, protecting on c3. It's important. And then maybe bishop d7 here. What do you think, Valerie?
Yes.
And then bishop c6. But here, can I play h3 after bishop d7? Do you want to go to h6? I can't believe this.
No, I don't.
Knight h6, knight f5, maybe it works.
Really?
Who knows? Well, I don't know, because you cannot...
on g4 you have
cannot play
f5.
g4, yes. And no, the
Oh.
I thought that on f4 is hanging, but f5 is also...
on f4, yes, also, yeah.
No, but I like f5 as well, yes. Maybe knight h6 is working, who knows? And then
Okay,
knight
and
f5.
just a quick question. On c5, knight takes d6, c takes d4, knight e4, what's going on d takes d3?
I wanted to take with the knight.
And on queen b6 check?
Ah, there is this check, even queen c5 check, yes.
Yeah. So it seems you have to capture with the queen on the or the pawn. And c5.
Yes, queen
here we
c3.
are.
Let's play queen c3. Of course, no, knight c3. This queen b6 check is very important. So, queen c3.
Now I
But if now you have knight c5 or queen c5, queen b6,
yeah, queen
and
c5
you can
will
play
be
queen
strong.
c5. Yes,
It will be strong.
I agree with you. So,
Okay.
no, but you shouldn't take on c3.
Yeah,
no?
it was just a question. So after knight e4, bishop d7.
And h3, if knight h6 works, then you can play knight f5 and you will
Black is
survive.
still in the game.
Yes. Okay. 22 minutes for Hampi Koneru. This is the move 20 right now.
It's moon, yeah.
So we still have 20 moves to
To play, yeah.
to make
Before the
until the
first
time
one.
control. So And the position is very complicated. As we can see, c5 is on the board. So
Do you
she's
think Lei
forcing-
Ting-ji missed c takes d4?
No, I don't think so. I
No?
think that she's trying to understand what is happening after knight d6, c
But
takes
shouldn't-
d4,
And here we are. She's playing knight f3.
knight f3. Okay, I told you that we're useless. Knight f3.
We don't have to consider this game.
Yes.
Maybe let's go to that game and consider there as much as we can.
Knight f3.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
but I don't like knight f3.
But then, okay, let's understand her point. After knight a3, she thinks that she can still take on d6 or even h3. Next move is coming. So what can you do here?
Bishop f5.
Oh, you're
Only
pinning
move is knight f6, right?
Yes.
Otherwise, okay, take with the knight.
knight f6 and
Take
queen
and rook
f5.
e8. Why my position is so bad here for black?
Okay, have a pair of bishops, maybe.
Yes, but you will not be proud of your c1 bishop for now.
Okay, bishop b3. Now I can play bishop b3 because the queen on f5 is very powerful. It's protecting.
So bishop e3 right
Yes.
now.
It's protecting every square, g4.
Okay, let's go rook
G5.
e6. Or it's two.
Knight
Two unmatched.
g5.
Okay, let's
No,
do
no,
rook a
I
d8.
don't like
Yeah,
knight.
rook a d8.
Knight g5 is...
Rook a d. Oh, and we have the result. We
Okay,
can just take a
this
quick
is
look.
our first result, and a draw was agreed between Tan-Deshmukh and Tan-Deshmukh. Fantastic preparation with the black pieces. This move, bishop a3, is very impressive by Divya. So yes, they simply traded the pawns E and D, and a draw was agreed.
We can say that Divya did it clearly. It's just a clear draw. Well done, well done. What to say? So
Maybe
have,
we will have her first impressions. Let's wait,
see, yeah.
because it's just to remind our viewers, our audience, that it's not easy to interview Tan-Deshmukh because we always need an interpret. So maybe if we can have Lei Ting-ji and Tan-Deshmukh together, yes, Lei Ting-ji will be able to translate for us.
So Tan-Deshmukh
She
does
doesn't
not
speak English. No,
only
it-
Chinese.
Maybe she understands a little bit, but I feel that she's a bit shy also. She's like to express herself. And
Which city is she from, if you know?
no, I don't know her that well because we had a few events in Monaco, and also when Tan-Deshmukh now was in the Cairns Cup, we had Alice Lee's mother who helped us to translate. So I know that we always need someone who speaks Mandarin, and I'm not
Very
sure we
nice-
can
very
find
nice
someone who
person,
speaks
by the way.
Mandarin, yes, in Batumi, Valerie.
Maybe. Okay, at least it will be much more
But
difficult.
I am pretty sure that Lei
if
Ting-ji,
somebody
yes, she can
speaks
help us. Yes.
Cantonese.
Yes.
But I don't think she will be Cantonese speaker. She will be Mandarin speaker.
We'll find out. Okay, so c5, knight f3, and Hampi is still thinking. You see, that's another
important
critical
moment, no?
moment, yes, in this game, because
Which bishop to give?
yes, and bishop b5 is on the board. I wanted to say that Hampi is going to navigate the troubled waters, yes, in time trouble. She has 19 minutes left, while Lei still has 27 minutes. And you said that knight f6 is the only move because you wanted to grab the bishop. But what if I play h3? Then you will take on e4,
Knight
yes?
f6 anyway.
And then rook e8 even with tempo, yes? So queen e4, knight f6.
Actually, the same type of position.
No, but yeah, it's better to have the queen on f5. Yes, because here knight f6 is coming with tempo. Maybe
Also g3 pawn, yeah? Who knows?
yes, maybe h3 is useful. Yes, but
And maybe not.
Yes, maybe not. But we can play king h2. No, no, I understand. Knight f6 is probably forced. Then knight f6, queen f5, and you said rook e8. And I wanted to play bishop e3. All moves look very natural to me here. By the way, maybe can we play after bishop e3, knight e7? Because this knight on g6 is not really doing anything.
Let's go back to b8.
Maybe to c6. No, why not to c6? Because, of course, we need to control the e5 square, just in case, so the knight will not jump
You know
knight
what?
e5.
Now I mentioned that after knight e7, queen has to leave the fifth rank, and the black has some extra, I'm not sure, but some c4, bishop c5.
Oh,
But on the same time, I'm
knight
giving the
d4,
square
yes.
for the knight on d4, which I don't like.
Okay, maybe you can jump here actually to d5, knight e d5. I haven't
So queen
considered
c2,
this,
right?
yes.
And knight e d5.
Because I thought knight c6, but then what? But if
Yeah.
knight e d5 here,
Bishop, where
bishop
the bishop
f2,
goes?
and then knight g4. What do you think? Just to take this bishop.
And on knight g5, you have knight df6.
Okay, I haven't seen knight g5, but I'm lucky to have the knight df6.
You
Yes,
have
maybe
it.
let's show it, of course. I haven't seen it, but
After
it
knight
means
g5,
that
there are two targets.
my line is of a very adventurous nature. Okay, you have to prove me wrong here.
Yes, you have knight f6 here, and everything is okay.
Yes, but yes, I survived this time.
And what is most important, we are taking that bishop, you know, and there will be no more pair of the bishops for white in this game.
So there is
97
no way that
easy.
we can keep this bishop on the board.
Let's take a look one more time.
So maybe Hampe also likes knights. For the moment, we have two knights for her,
The
two
Indian
bishops,
knights.
yes, for
Knight
the
f6 we have
Houdini
on the board.
knights. Knight f6, of course, we calculated this forced line, so
I don't like these words, but I have to repeat now. It smells like a draw already. Because late Ing missed her chance. And the chance was to play f4 immediately.
one move earlier, you
Yes,
think, yes?
one move earlier. And Hampi is a player which will use that inaccuracy. And she's actually doing it. I actually don't think that the white has an advantage, any kind of advantage here. Okay, pair of the bishop, but that bishop on c1, it is very difficult to develop it. As we see on bishop e3, there is knight e7, knight d5, and knight g4. So if not bishop e3 in this position, then how and where to develop that bishop? Maybe from b3. b3, c4. Okay, first of all, Hampi to move, so probably she will play rook e8, the move that we are considering. And the problem of b3 here is that we don't have enough time. Okay, first of all, we have to decide what are we doing with that rook. Are we doing immediately b3? Actually, that makes sense. Let's consider this. Rook e8, yes, rook a e8. And b3. Do I have this move or not? Rook a e8?
So bishop b3, yes?
No bishop e3, just b3 immediately.
Okay, yeah, I thought that you wanted to include bishop b3, okay.
I want to play c4 and bishop b2.
Okay, but then maybe I can play c4. Let's say rook e1, yes, knight e1. It's like I'm driving your knight away, and then can I play? By the way, you want to play c4, and you're completely ignoring my maneuver knight e7, knight c6. Then are you sure that?
On the same time, what about rook e8? How am I doing that c4 and bishop b2? Rook e8, attacking the knight. If I do bishop b2, there is rook e2.
No, but I think that black can play c4. You wanted to play c4, b4?
Yeah. But rook e8, why not to include with black?
You know,
yeah?
you are playing with fire because the rook on a1, the bishop on c1, now the knight on. It's like I feel that yes, it will backfire at some point.
That's why the most obvious move is bishop e3 on rook e8.
Yes, but let's say knight e7. I don't know what is the difference when the rook is on f8 and. By the way, maybe a rook
And
e8 allows Hampi to play b5 also. You see, because the rook on a8 is no longer
And she decided to play
targeted.
bishop d2. Not bishop e3, but bishop d2. I like knight e7
But
still.
bishop d2, you remember that in our line we wanted to play knight e7 and if queen c2, knight d5, attacking the bishop. Of course, Lei calculated this line, so bishop d2 is a more fine move. You know, she's anticipating knight d5. But what can we say? Okay, knight c6. Let's continue with my idea. Knight, I wanted to play knight
Of course,
e7
it will
and
not
knight
happen
c6.
as we already
Yes,
have
as we already
the experience of
Yes.
it.
And what do you do here after knight c6? Because what is the bishop doing on?
Still, bishop on d2
d2
is not developed, right? Okay, we connect the rooks, but then what to do with that bishop?
And also we can play c4, queen b6, knight g4 at some point. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So what can we do here?
Now on the same time with black in this position, maybe taking on e1 and rook e8.
And
Makes
knight
sense.
e7 is on the board, so maybe, you know, now I'm starting
Now
to
we are
understand
getting in.
something. Yes, we are starting to grasp the nuances of this position. You have to improve this knight on g6, and its potential, of course, because it was not doing anything. So
Queen.
queen c2.
I think that's the only normal good square to put the queen. Definitely on g5, Elmira, it will be h6. And queen has to stay on h4. Do you like the queen on h4?
No, but aren't you losing it immediately? Okay, you still have one square. After knight g6, queen h3, yes? Or knight
Yes.
f5, queen h3. But knight f5, no, this is ridiculous.
Okay, let it be there.
You are grounded for today. By the way, Lei Tinji is always talking about her puppy. You know, and of course, I know that a lot of my friends, chess players, they have pets. I have 2 dogs myself, but I was thinking about Alexander Alekhin because he had a cat named Chess. Did you know this, Valery?
That I did not know, but I know the chess player who has the cat named Alekhine.
Yes, who is
Yes,
this?
Anna Matnadze.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
The name of her cat is Alekhine.
So I wonder what is the name of Lei Tinji puppies, and the thing is that Alexander Alekhin, he was traveling with his cat everywhere. He brought him to chess tournaments, and I think that there was a story where he was stopped at the border, I think, and he didn't have his passport, you know. He was asked, you know, it's like, where's your passport? Please show us the documents. And he said, I don't need any documents. I am Alexander Alekhin, a world champion, and my cat, and his name is Chess, you know, and this is sufficient. Just let me go. And I think that at that time, you know, the matter had to be resolved by the authorities, you know, so he was able to play in the chess tournament, but Hampi just played c4
immediately, by the way.
So she decided to make this concession. So you're making the concession, you are given the d4 square, but at the same time you're taking away the d3 and b3 square. So how can you bring the knight to one of those squares. Let's say after C.
What I have on my mind now, maybe
C4.
black wants to play bishop c5. For example, if it
And
is
knight
black
g4,
to move,
yes.
bishop c5, and in case of knight d4, just capture that knight and put the knight on d5, the blockade.
Oh, but this is going to be a very, very nice position for black.
So I will do just a pass move here, for
Let's say
example,
h3.
h3. So bishop c5 check.
No, but I think then you want to play bishop e3 with white. Okay.
On bishop c5.
Yes. Okay, let's illustrate the point, of course. So
This and this. Oh, that's a nice position. Here the knights are the knights. Yeah, that makes sense.
that the bishops are the bishops.
Bishops.
Elephants. If we come to the old version, yes, of chess, and they were represented by elephants, I think, in India also. C4, but maybe Humpy Koneru will start with bishop e3 first.
Humpy or Lei?
Lei,
King
yes.
G.
Yes, because
And on bishop e3,
it's
what
like
about,
a game, you know. It's
what
like,
about
it is a
bishops-
game.
what
It's a
about
game of
bishop
chess.
c5?
C5.
I want to trade that.
No, but now it's a different trade. So I will take on c5, queen c5, and now I will jump to d4. But you have knight. No, you don't have knight
Right?
c6, but I will take bishop c6. No, you don't have it. So
I don't have knight f5 as well. So what to do?
but at the same time, let's
What I
evaluate
have-
this position now. It's like black doesn't have any visible weaknesses. Of course, white is controlling the dark squares. White's bishop for the moment is X-raying the big diagonal. Looking at the pawn on b7, but let's say we play queen c7 here. So protecting the pawn on b7.
You know what?
You wanted to play b5?
I'm not even sure that the white has anything after knight c6. Bishop takes c6, b takes c6. White is bad. I don't think it will be bad with such a kind of pieces on the board. And I have b2 pawn counterplay everywhere. Putting my knight on d5.
Yes, but this is a very responsible move. You have to be sure. I think it's a very, this is where human comes versus the computer. The computer, which doesn't have
Do I
any
look like a
emotions.
computer?
No, but like the thing
But
is,
I am sure.
so you're sure that
Because it's not my pieces.
you see that you're going to defend this position for long hours, and one mistake can lead to a defeat in a match which only has 2 games.
So my reason and what I am based on is what I said, you know, with such a pieces. I think that in such a good pieces that the black has, it should not be the problem to support. And when there is a direct, there is no direct attack there. There is only queen g2, and I'm blocking it with knight d5.
Okay, so the pieces activity is like
And b2 pawn,
yields
yeah, the counterplay.
black
I
sufficient
mean, you could not
counterplay.
calculate everything, right? So it just, if you summarize the pluses and minuses.
But maybe I don't have like even to create something. We all know how difficult it is simply to wait. Maybe I will keep my pieces protected, like put all the rooks on the second rank, protect on b2, and well, we will dance around for hours, and who will crack first? And how well? I think after, okay, h3 is on the board, okay. Didn't happen anyway, but we calculated h3, yes? So now, what did we want to play?
Bishop c5, we are saying, when we said the pass move, we played that h3. And then knight d4
no,
and then
we
take.
did demonstrate, because I said that you want to play bishop e3 here. So let's
on
say
bishop c5 check, you are thinking that she
bishop
will play
e3,
bishop
rook
e3.
e3. Okay, now
Take,
your
and
knight can...
d5.
Yes, now your knight can jump to d5 in this line. Okay, black has no problem
Black just
here.
simply
Yes.
equalize.
No, this is fine. Maybe she wants to play king h2. Let's try bishop c5, but what's the point? After king h2, black also has bishop f2 sometimes. King h2 is a move which is double-edged. Yes, so white is playing for a win.
So if we
Clearly
go
after
to the old
king
Swedes
h2.
school, we have to trade the pieces in case the opponent's piece is stronger, right? So now we are avoiding trading the bishop, but now bishop on c5 is better than the bishop on d2, right?
Okay, but let's continue. King h2, knight g5. Yes, knight e5. And I want to jump to e3.
No, I think bishop e3 is just necessary for white. How to keep the bishop on d2? Just look at this from the side. I think we are going too deep. Just look at it from the side, just a quick look, and bishop on d2 versus the bishop on c5. How to don't trade it.
Yes, I agree.
What's the
but
future?
Yes, but at the same time, yes, I agree with you. But if you want to find something more in an unusual way,
Still, you have to realize all the time that you are playing with Koneru-Lei. So it could be even risky.
I understand, yes. So we have to come back to our fundamentals.
Yeah.
And play bishop b3. Okay, once again, bishop b3, rook e3. By the way, knight d5, of course, is a very natural move, but if we are pinning the rook, if we're playing something like queen b6, where do you go? Maybe queen f2, yes, so you are...
Yeah, it's no pin anymore.
And maybe you are even threatening something, let's say knight d5 here. So you have to take on e8. I have to take on f2, and maybe this is the position that Hampi needs to avoid, to play this position without queens, because now I feel that the bishop on g2 is a much better piece, especially that you have this knight e5 here.
Knight e5 is very strong, that the black does not have knight e4.
Yes.
It's very important.
But also attacking the pawn on c5. And what do you do after b5? E takes b5. And now the rook is playing. I can even play rook e5. Okay. Yeah. This is a very important moment. So Hampi has to play this position, at least for now, with the queens on the board. Because here the bishop is very strong, the king is closer, so in case the knight retreats, let's say to c7 here, I can play bishop c6, maybe, yes, attacking the pawn immediately. No, this is this smells like a win. So queen b6 there is not precise after bishop e3. Knight g5 maybe immediately.
Knight c6? Does it go to b3?
Yes, knight a5 and knight b3 is a very standard maneuver. Yes.
Why not?
Because I think that white will take. Because it would be good if your bishop would be on c1 and rook on a1.
Yes, but it's against, on the same time, it's against of knight, white knight on d4. So take.
No, not take, sorry. I wanted to play, bishop b3, you have knight g4 here. No, you even have rook a3, I think, and bishop c5 maybe. Oh, knight c6 is a wonderful move. Charming. As you can see, in the position where Hampi is low on time and where she was slightly worse out of the opening, now she starts to dismantle her pieces and you have a lot of venom because a few moves simply do not work here. She sets traps. Knight c6, she's doing very well. And as you can see, Lei Tinji played this prophylactic move king h2, getting rid of all these rook e3 ideas and all the pins, and she didn't want to take on e8. And she wants Hampi to take on e8. But by the way, how about my idea h5? Ah, no, h4, knight h4. No, it's premature still. Okay, what can we play here? Can we play h6?
I think we have to be calm, keep calm, and just play the move like
No, I want to play h6.
h6. Yeah, why not? H6,
What-
g6, something like
No,
that.
no, but g6 I didn't like I didn't want to soften the power. The power. I apologize. It's the power. We have power problems.
Power
I didn't
Ranger.
want to soften the knight on f6, and we have a move. Bishop c5.
So
It's very consistent. Also, bishop c5,
another time the same question, why not?
and not allowing white to play bishop e3.
And knight d4 already. Hampi fully equalized the position.
So, what can we play here with?
Maybe next even b5, Almira. What do you think? Why
Yes,
not?
yes, I like this move b5. Of course, it's
No, if you like, we know what you like, and that's opposite side of the board.
it's on my agenda. It's on my agenda. So I thought that when you will attack this pawn, let's say if you will play bishop f1, yes, just in case, because this move is possible, bishop f1, and I was considering this move b5 or knight a5. Which one would you make?
b5.
b5, then I will take, and you will
You
take.
knew I will choose b5.
Okay, but after b5, can I play b3? Here.
b3, b3.
Yes, how will you
What to do
protect the
after
pawn on
b3?
b5 or on c4? Maybe it was better to play knight a5.
Yes, but what's the problem? Rook takes e1. Rook takes, right? Or
Yes.
you are taking
No,
with the
rook,
bishop?
no, rook takes.
And just queen b7.
And so if I, okay, so if I take on c4,
Take.
you take on c4, but I will take bishop c4.
When you take with the bishop on c4, there will be knight a5,
Yes, and I will be back.
bishop e2, and here
Well,
I have the compensation.
you claim that you have the compensation, but I don't think that
Knight c4.
Ali Tinji will agree with you, because all I can see is that I just won a pawn. Okay, maybe knight c4, but bishop
Yeah, being
or-
pawn up is good.
No, no, no. Maybe let's try, if bishop f1, maybe you can play knight a5.
That's more solid.
Yes, just
Much more
not
solid.
allowing anything.
Agree. And on the same time, who knows? I will play knight b3 and grab that bishop from d2.
Yes, knight b3, knight d2.
And maybe
And then
later,
b5.
later somewhere, I even have the chance to play g5.
But after you play
You don't like
knight...
that idea, right?
No, not here.
No, somewhere later.
Yes, I
It's
understand.
in the bright future.
I thought that maybe if I jumped knight e5, now you can play knight b3. Yes, so knight e5 is too risky.
Yeah.
Also, when knight goes to e5, I can play my another idea, h5, h4. And you cannot stop it by h4, because then I will have this
G4
delicious
squares.
square, yes, on g4. It's like, this is when Hampi can think about winning this game.
Yeah.
As if she can play h5, h4. So knight e5 is not very precise here. Yes, I think bishop f1, knight a5 has to be played.
Yeah.
But then what can we suggest for white after bishop c5?
Maybe take and rook e1.
Okay, let's take on e8, rook e8, rook e1. So let's say we swap rooks. How do you take, with the bishop or then?
So we're doing it with the knight on a5
No,
or
without. Just I want to wait a
So
little
no
bit.
bishop f1.
No, for the moment, yes. I want to take rook e1, take on e1. Let's say bishop, yes. Where your knight is on g5. Why your knight is on g5?
Because I was attacking.
How? You played rook e8,
Okay.
rook e8, take. Rook e8, rook e1, rook e1 and bishop e1. So maybe here we can look for something.
For black or for white?
No, for white, because without rooks, and the knights are still not stable. Black knights. I feel that this knight on c6 is not yet on d3, not on b3, and now on b3 it wouldn't be doing much, yes, because when we trade rooks. So why Humpy didn't make this move h6? Okay, let's make it here, h6. We need the luft. It's always
So you still
useful.
don't like g6?
No, g6 I don't like. I want
Then
to
I
make
understand
h6.
everything. If you are touching the g pawn, you have to put it on g5.
Well, for
That's
the
why
moment,
you don't love g6.
the dark square bishops are still on the board, so like
You are too disappointed when you are touching the pawn and don't putting it on g5. And on g6, yeah, it's kind of half away.
proceed with caution here. h6 is a very good move, I
Yes,
think.
I agree.
So how can, okay, maybe now we can attack the pawn on c4. But how to do it? Let's say I will play queen e2. And here you can play b5, I think, yes?
Definitely.
So what else can I do here?
I just don't see the object to create something somewhere.
But you remember yesterday's game, the second game between Harika and Divya, because they were shuffling the pieces like right, left, you know, king side, queen side, and then Harika was given the only chance. It was sufficient, the only square. So all she was looking is this f4 square. So even the character of the position is not the same. All you
That's
need is
right.
one square, and this square is g5. Yes, but for white.
And you asked me why did I play knight
Knight
g5?
g5.
It was just accidentally, but it works.
So it was an accident, but
Yeah, it
a
was.
lot of scientific discoveries, by the way, were made by accident. So
Yeah.
let's
And this
check this one.
accidental move happened in the game. Finally.
But why knight g5? You want to play knight e4?
I want to checkmate on h7.
Yes, but how are you deflecting
to
the
do
knight
that.
from f6? No,
So
no.
knight e4, yeah, obviously
Yeah, I
there is
suppose
knight,
that
knight e4.
Okay, let's say I will make the obvious move, h6. Your reply is knight e4. Yes, so knight e4. And how are you taking the rook, the bishop?
The rook.
The rook it is.
The rook.
Ah, she wants to... Okay, h6 is on the board, I understand. So if I take rook e4, then you will play queen e4, centralizing the queen, and black no longer has rook e8, and then she will control the e file. The little something something.
That I like. A little and twice something.
Yes,
Because the position is actually like that. A little and something, even triple.
something something. But you know, the thing is, I understand why Lei is trying all those things, because even though we can understand that the position is balanced, we tried so many variations, but you have to be careful, because sitting in Humpy's chair, and she's facing the pair of bishops, you feel there's something, there's something unpleasant. You know that you have to equalize. You're not yet there.
Almost.
Almost there, yes.
But not there.
Because this bishop on g2 can be very dangerous. And it's efficient that she makes one move, like bishop b4, bishop d5, maybe attack, and then queen g6, f5. I saw a very strange mating attack. Let's say I will demonstrate. Rook e4, bishop e4.
So no queen.
No, just what I wanted. Let's say if you will allow me, but you will need to make a lot of moves to cooperate. You will need to cooperate with me. Let's say knight a5. Yes, you will play. Then bishop d5.
And now I have to start cooperating.
Yes, now you have to cooperate because let's say you will. You shouldn't attack my bishop. Let's say you will make queen e7.
Maybe b6 to support everything.
No, but b6 I cannot play queen g6. That was my idea.
No, pawn b6.
b6, okay, b6. Then I wanted to play queen g6. I'm on the verge of losing, by the way, here. I think that any move wins, like rook d8, attacking. But let's say you haven't seen it, you will play something else.
Also, I don't have to push my king.
Yes, but then I wanted to play f5 and bishop h6, but you understood, yes, the point. I think that here rook d8 is winning on the spot because like the rook on a1 is not doing anything, bishop on d2, bishop on d5, everything is hanging, so yes.
Okay.
This is not going to happen, of course, and knight is on e4. Okay, so let's wait. I think that knight e4 has to be played, and probably Lei Tingi is going to take with the rook.
Let's see. Okay, on the same time, black does not have anything better than knight takes e4.
Yes, but then maybe knight a5 immediately. Let's say knight e4. Yes, rook e4. I don't want to take on e4, I understand, but at the same time, the pawn on c4 is not protected. It's quite vulnerable, so like maybe I can play knight a5 here. So simply protecting, yes, the pawn. So, do you have more? Can you play rook a e1 here?
Okay, once I will capture it.
Maybe it will come down to this battle over the control of the e file in this game.
I have a new idea connected to a4 pawn. For example, queen d7.
Oh.
That after knight b3, that pawn is hanging.
Yes, but your pawn on b7 is hanging as well in that line, so it doesn't work, maybe.
Yes, but look, knight b3 is with tempo on d2. So
I like this move, queen d7, because it keeps the control over the e file.
Yeah.
What can be our next move? Okay, let's say rook e8, then rook e8 once again. Sorry. Queen e8. And what can we do? Okay, let me try this little something. Queen e4 here.
Take on a4?
No, but you're probably missing something. I cannot give. I wanted to play queen d5. But bishop f8. No, yes, this doesn't work. Queen d5, bishop f8. Yes, and I lost the pawn, yes. And 7 minutes for Lei Tingi. How many moves do we have left?
Knight e4, and the rook bishop takes e4. Why we don't get any of the moves that the critical moments? Bishop takes e4, this is a new move we have on the board, and let's see what's going on after knight a5.
How many moves do we have left, by the way, till the time control?
I will tell you right now. So this is move number 30.
And 7 minutes for Lei Tingi. For the first time in this game, Hampi is ahead on her clock. Yes, 12 minutes. So this is a clear indicator that she has solved all the problems in this
yes,
game.
that's true. That's true. That's true.
Because she was taking her time. She clearly evaluated when were the critical moments in this game.
I always remember, Almira, from the childhood, the suggestion that I read in one of the books, that there are a lot of moments in the game where you have to choose which way to go, right? Which plan to choose. And you don't know which one is correct in advance. But since you will start doing it, you can see it immediately, it's correct or not. If the life becomes easier after each move, so you are on the correct way. So this is what Hampi did, right? Every next move she was doing easier and easier. You see, she was doing it immediately. So it means that she was on the correct way.
And by the way, you were right, she just played knight a5.
Somehow I have a feeling here it will be the agreement on draw soon.
And our poll is complete for today. So 46% of our viewers voted for Tan-Deshmukh, 39% of our audience is supporting Hampi Koneru, 11% have voted for Lei Tingi, and only 3% for Tan-Deshmukh. And for Tan-Deshmukh, by the way, who is probably one of the most successful players in this format, it's her third straight semifinals in the World Cup. And I've checked the results. Twice she was eliminated by the winners of the World Cup. So if Tan-Deshmukh manages to eliminate Tan-Deshmukh, if we are taking a historical perspective on the things, she is going to win, yes, the World Cup, because Tan-Deshmukh lost to Alexandra Kostyanyuk,
And she won.
Yes, Alexandra Kostyanyuk won, and then in 2023, Tan-Deshmukh won. She lost against Alexandra Goryachkina, and Alexandra Goryachkina won the World Cup. So we will see tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tan-Deshmukh will have the white pieces tomorrow, but now you have all the information that you need, so you can make an informed decision.
You see, Lei is not happy.
She's not happy, yes, after knight a5.
5 minutes on the clock and 10 moves to do. That's also another trouble. Do you think that Hampi will agree the draw if Lei Tingi
offers the draw
here? I'm asking you because you know her personality and different things and so on. Otherwise, from the chess point of view and the situation in the tournament, of course, with black, why not to do the draw and agree and prepare for the next round? But how is she?
Given the tournament strategy, of course, draw is a very good result with the black pieces. But yes, you're absolutely right. I know Hampi a little bit, and we've discussed so many things. And I have a feeling that now, especially that she is ahead on the clock, she knows that her opponent is suffering, and she's such an experienced player.
She can use that.
She can use it at least for the next 10 moves. Let's wait and see what will be my opponent's move, rook e2. And actually, there was another idea. Maybe black could have played bishop f2 at some point, you know, so she gets rid of this idea. Let's say knight b3.
It's going to the opposite colors.
Rook e1.
Rook e1.
And now...
Knight d2.
But maybe you should, like, if knight d2, yeah, the position is equal. Yes,
bishop is not going anywhere.
Yes, bishop is not going anywhere. So maybe Hampi can do something here. By the way, after rook e1, there is a very important threat in this position is bishop h7.
It's hanging.
Yes, of course, we need to show it, and then white is winning. Okay, now the rook is on f8. Yes, before in our lines we were playing rook f, e8, so maybe now Hampi needs to play rook d8. Rook d8, by the way, how about it? And you want to trade on d2, and to trade another rook.
Yeah, why not? Why not? It is just a draw. I mean, this position after taking on d2 and trading the rooks, it's gonna be the draw. So, what else could we find it out here? Knight b3 is on the board, and rook a1 definitely will be the move from late in g. Let's consider what's going on if we take on d2. First of all, dear chess friends, bishop h7 is not working here. I think so. I'm not sure, by the way. Huh? Maybe we missed it. Almira, you see that? On knight d2 instead of rook d8, knight d2, bishop h7, and capture here.
No, we didn't miss it because
Knight f3, you saw that
No.
the rook is protected? Yeah, then good. So king goes and just take on e1, and there is no rook f8.
Yes, but the thing is, like, I wasn't considering knight d2 because we thought that the knight is not going anywhere. So maybe
bishop.
Yes, the bishop.
Yeah.
So maybe, by the way, the knight probably is not
Also-
going anywhere.
it's not going to
but
go.
maybe rook d8. Yes, just
Rook d8 is more
just to
technical.
get rid of this
Yeah.
threat. Yes,
Yeah.
you know, we are pairing it by
It's a very
yes,
equal
putting it
position.
on.
Yes, and bishop e3 is not working here because of bishop takes e3, rook takes e3, and an excellent rook d2, and game over. So after rook d8, what to suggest for white? What to play? That's another question. Now it is a different story. What to do after rook d8?
By the way, there is your move, queen d7. I also think about it because can we take on a4, but then bishop b7? Yes, for the moment we cannot take on e4. No. And rook d8 is on the board. Hampi is very precise. Till the very end, she is making very solid moves. So let's say the average quality of her moves is very high.
Yeah.
Even though, you know, that the opening didn't go her way, she once again managed to steady her ship. And after rook d8, I think that black is fine.
Okay, first of all, I think that the white has to move that bishop from there. That bishop could not stay there forever. And just put it on c1. And if the black wants to capture it, just let them capture on c1.
I just wanted to see, let's say if we'll make a passer move, I need to find it. Let's say h4, yes?
Instead of
bishop c1. And then I just wanted to understand how is this position. Let's say we trade everything on d2, queen d2. Is it equal or maybe white has
No, come on.
something,
rook d8,
something? Rook d8,
What
queen
do I
g2
guess?
I wanted to play, yes?
p5.
Yes, I will take.
Okay.
And maybe I can play something like bishop c6. No, b4, yes.
Yeah, sure. Here I thought instead of taking on b5.
No, and then bishop
take
c6.
and bishop c6. b4.
b4,
Agreement.
bishop d5. Yes,
Here will be the agreement.
yes. No, this is not
It's kind of
Something.
fantastic.
that Lei wants to see on the board. And Lei just played bishop c1.
Yeah, let's see. Hampi is okay to do the draw. Then it means that she will take on c1, or she will continue with rook d6, for example.
And she clearly wants to, Lei, she clearly wants to keep two rooks, yes, on the board. This is why she played bishop c1. Okay, let's try rook d6.
After, in the current
Yes,
position.
in the current position, yes.
Rook d6. And what to do with white? Bishop on e4 is not doing anything much anymore. So just bishop g2. Now white has to take care about equalizing and making it to the draw. So bishop
But
g2.
at the same time, I cannot play rook d8.
Because of rook e8
Yes.
checkmate. So rook d8 not possible because of this.
So you see, we are getting short of useful moves, or I should take on c1.
Yeah. Take on c1.
Yes, what
in
else
case
can
we
I
want
make
to...
here? Okay, let's try knight c1 here, yes? And queen c1, I suppose. And maybe now I can play rook somewhere. Where can I play? Rook f6.
Rook this.
No, the rook is on d6. No, you played bishop g2. I am still analyzing the line.
Ah.
Yes. Rook, yes, knight c1.
So,
Bishop g2, rook d6, bishop g2, knight c1, and rook f6.
so you are going to your g5 again,
Yes,
right?
I want to play bishop d6 and take on f4, by the way.
What happened in the game? What did she play? b6.
B6 is also a very good move, of
Yeah.
course. But let's just get back to the position, because it might happen. By the way, if Hampi takes on c1, no, still, okay, let's take
okay,
rook d6, bishop g2, rook f6. So my idea is to play bishop d6 here.
Yeah, yes, I understand. And take on f4.
Okay, but then
And
you...
if you don't take, then g5.
Yes, exactly. So what do you do here? Let's say you protect rook e4 and you attack
The pawn.
the pawn. I will play b5. No, I like this position. So you will take, I will take, and what else?
King h1 somewhere, but bishop f2 is hanging.
No, this position is completely equal, and maybe black can
Maybe trade one
try
rook on
something.
e8.
Rook e8, yes. So how about g5 now? Okay, this is it. This is my moment. This is the moment that I waited for such a long time. You know, it's like I've been fighting my instincts, and I played h6. But how about this, by the way?
Take.
Take on g5, yes. Rook g6. I'm a tricky fox.
Yes, you are.
So what can you do here?
Yes,
After
you
rook
are.
g6, and now bishop d6 is coming.
Okay. Rook e4. 1 e4.
Rook g5.
You changed your mind.
You want to play rook g4, yes?
Queen e1 in this case to triple up the pieces on the e file.
Bishop g6.
Okay, what happened there?
Bishop d6. And I think that you will have to play rook g4. So you take on f8. No, first take on f8.
Sure?
Yes, then it's a draw, yes, and rook g4. I don't have anything. Okay, I can still play rook e5, but it's too much. Okay, but meanwhile, we have a few moves. And bishop g2 was played.
Yeah.
I told you we might as well see this variation on the board, because how to improve the pieces here for Hampi. Rook d6 is a natural move.
Yeah.
Maybe also queen d7 and queen d3. Queen d7, first of all, attacking the pawn on a4, now that the pawn on b7 is no longer on the air, in the air. It's on the air because we are live from Batumi, and it's in the air.
Okay.
2 minutes for Lei Tinji.
Hampi is thinking. Definitely she is thinking about taking on c1. That's one of the options that she is thinking about. And she is doing queen d7. Attacking the pawn on a4. Okay. Did we consider that queen d7 in this moment?
No, it was the first time because Hampi played b6, and that was her idea because every line that we've calculated before had the pawn on b7. You know, so queen d7 was sort of awkward try. But here, queen d7 is clearly looking at this delicious pawn on a4.
And it seems like she will capture it. Yes.
f5. Wow, I think that Lei was waiting for this moment. She retreated her bishops, protected everything, and she wants to play f5, f6.
Nice try.
And that's why, actually, somehow in my mind, I had this idea, and that's why I wanted to play rook d6. You know, because if you play f5, f6, okay, it's no longer possible. Okay, now I remember. Yes, yes, it's like, it was on my mind, but since it never happened, Lei decided to try it now with 2 minutes on her clock, 6 minutes for Hampi. What can we do? But f5 is opening this diagonal.
So maybe the time came when we have to capture.
Knight c1.
Yes.
But let's say, just to suggest, queen a4.
Okay.
Lei will play f6, and this looks very dangerous. Even if Hampi can still take on c1, I don't think that this is the right way to play. So, wow, a5 here. Let's say knight c1. It is very moment when they were in severe time trouble, and she went for it. She went for the move g4, the position became completely unbalanced, and then she won the game a few moves later. So knight c1, what can we do? Let's say queen c1, and you want to play...
queen c1
no,
or
queen
giving me
f5. No,
the pawn?
queen f5, I cannot, yes.
You have to capture with the rook.
Yes, rook c1.
Any troubles from any side there?
Put bishop e7 if we don't have anything else.
By
the way,
f6.
maybe we have something else, because can I play queen d6?
What about bishop d6 to attack the g3 pawn? I don't want to be in defensive mode there. I will try to create a counterplay. Bishop d6. I'm looking at g3.
So if I play f6?
If you play f6, I will just ignore it and play g6.
You're not ignoring it, yes, you're reacting.
I was going to play g5. But later I decided to stop the pawn and...
Queen g3 is on the board. So Hampi decided, yes, you remember that was another option, yes, of course, that we mentioned, because she is waiting for Lei to play f6, and then she will take on c1. Let's say Lei will play bishop e4 here. So Hampi will take on c2.
And just agree on draw?
Yes, now this will be a draw. And the bishop is already on e4, so queen c2, bishop c2. Now she will take on c1, rook c1, and rook where? Rook e8. And the thing is now that white played f5, the bishop's diagonal is restricted.
Yep. And here we are.
Here we are. We will see this
take on c2
sequence of move. By the way, now after knight c1, there might be a draw offer. So let's wait, of course, for all the moves to be completed.
And rook e8, yeah?
And rook e8. Very well played.
Lei is thinking where she missed.
Yes. Lei is clearly trying to understand when she missed her chance to claim the advantage out of the opening, but probably there was only one moment, yes,
only
to play
f4.
But still, I think that Hampi had sufficient defensive resources, and here we are. The draw is agreed. between Lei Tinji and Hampi Koneru. By the way, both Indian players started their matches with the black pieces.
And good result.
And they performed very well today against Lei Tinji and Tan-Deshmukh. So tomorrow we will have Tan-Deshmukh taking on Tan-Deshmukh with the white pieces, and Hampi Koneru taking on the white pieces on Lei Tinji. Valerie, the round is over. I think that we forgot also to remind our viewers about the prizes. Yes, because they are fighting for the prizes. So let's bring them on your screen. And here we are. They're staying till the end of this event in Batumi. So for the fourth place, you get $20,000. For the third place,
guaranteed for any player now.
Of course.
There.
Third place, $25,000. The runner-up gets $35,000, and the winner of this event, the coveted title, and the $50,000 is the first prize. By the way, Valerie, have you ever played in a tournament, because we represent a completely different generation, where the first prize was $50,000?
No.
You see, it's like 20 years ago. Okay, I played in the first World Championship in 2000 in India, by the way. So that was the first time that I reached my first quarterfinal. Yes, and the prizes, I think it was, but for the World Championship, there was $50,000 for the first prize. But here is the World Cup, and as we know, the candidates tournaments has a very big prize fund, but then also, if you make it and you will play the match against June and June, and if you will play the match for the World Crown, then the prizes are really significant. And you might get this chance only once.
Oh.
So all players, of course, are dreaming about this moment. Thank you so much for watching. So we are going to be here tomorrow. And the sequel, it doesn't take, 2 years to prepare. So the next episode featuring those 4 players, those 4 Wonder Women, Hampi Koneru, Tan-Deshmukh, Lei Tinji, and Tan-Deshmukh, is coming up next tomorrow at the same time.
See you then.
Bye.